What's up, everybody?
Hey, good evening.
Oh, you can has bums.
I
How
sent
was
you.
yours?
I sent a
Good.
private message. I sent a private message, so read it.
To who?
Well, when it's a private
to
message
us.
to us,
I reply, Chris. I reply. We're good.
Messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So far.
it's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, when I started the stream, it said we were out of storage, so I had to go deal with that real quick.
so tell. The rumor was you were kidnapped for 2 weeks. What's going on, Chris?
I was only gone for 1 week, man.
Oh, it felt like 2.
Yeah, it did. No, so last week I took off like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and went and saw Pearl Jam Wednesday, and then saw them again Friday night here in Fort Worth because they played 2 different shows, which was another fucking awesome, dude. They're like the best live band ever.
They don't do the same show twice, right?
No, they don't even. They may play. They probably played 30 songs in each show, and maybe 10 of them are the same. Maybe 15, you know.
No opening act.
No, there was, and I want to. Let's still talk about it right now. Sure, it's not jazz, but
There you go, Brendan. I added you because Chris is so caught up in his Pearl Jam nonsense.
Listen, Rob. So this band's really good. So when I bought the record, it's called Deep Sea Diver. They've been around since like 2012.
So they opened for them.
They opened for Pearl Jam, yeah. And this lady is kind of a lead singer. She plays guitar and she sings. She's played with the Shins. She was the lead guitarist for Beck on tour a couple of times. I mean, they're badass. So it's kind of like
what's her name? Who is that?
I remember her name. Let me see if it says on here. The name of the band is
Deep Sea Diver.
Yeah. But really good kind of indie 80s. I don't know, rock and a little bit of everything. A little Bauhaus sound, a little Cure, a little pop. It's just
I like that. That
really
sounds
works
good to me.
Yeah, it's really awesome. So yeah, I haven't opened the record yet, but I saw them.
They played in arena or a stadium? Arena.
Oh, arena. They're not playing stadiums, man.
I love Pearl Jam. I think Pearl Jam's awesome.
For sure.
Not every album, but they have 4 great ones.
I'm not a Pearl Jam guy.
No one cares. Look, Roberto's a Pearl Jam.
I'll sing the same song again and again.
No, he doesn't.
No.
There's one good song with that remake they did.
No, that's the worst
about
song.
The person who died in a car crash. That's a good song.
Oh yeah, Last Kiss.
Last Kiss is the worst song they've done.
It's the best song from a band.
I don't even know that
I'm going to kick you off the stream.
So quick poll, Chris. What is your favorite Pearl Jam song?
Oh God, I don't know. Hard to imagine, I guess.
Black.
Yeah,
I'll take Black.
Okay.
I like Untaught No. I think that song is amazing.
That's a good one.
What's the one? What's the title of the one? I forget the title of it. Thoughts and friends, they fade away.
Elderly woman behind the counter in a small town.
It's a really long title. It's that or Black. Those are like the 2 best ones.
For sure.
Those are great. Yeah.
Yeah. See? Even last one knows it. So anyway, that's what I was doing. And then it was kind of hard though because I went Wednesday night and then Friday my wife was supposed to take my kid, but she got the flu or something, so I ended up going to both shows. And then the next morning I had to drive to San Antonio for my sister's wedding after consuming a few beers at the show. So that was fun. But yeah, that's why I was going.
Yeah.
So how was the stream last week? I missed it, obviously.
Yeah.
Anything interesting?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, people loved it. There was new people.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I had Rocco, Max. That was pretty cool.
Actually, did you watch it, Chris? Because it's actually probably the best episode of the Jazz Bombs.
I don't watch VC videos, man. I just make them. Just kidding. I'll watch it.
Very informative. That guy.
I'm almost there. I'll watch What Can Brown. That's about it.
Yeah.
That's the only
stuff.
That's the only one I watch.
I like the cat videos.
Who, Baggy's cat videos?
No.
Scat videos.
Scat videos. Ooh.
I like scat videos, like Scatman John.
Like,
oh man.
Yeah.
Spin the Black Circle. That's right, Patty.
Spin the Black Circle is great. Yeah.
You know Ledbetter?
I mean, 10 is almost a perfect record. There's a couple.
Top 10's great.
Yeah.
One thing I respect about them is they did let anyone record their shows, and
Yeah.
they released all their bootleg stuff, right? I like that. But
Oh yeah, they release the bootlegs. They sell them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Well, Eddie's the only one that's not dead of all the singers
Yep.
from.
Pretty much.
They're all dead.
Mark Arm, right? Mark Arm is still alive too.
Yeah. He's not really in the
Yeah.
same echelon, though.
Yeah, I don't put him in the same like.
Let's
You know,
take
it's
it
like
for us.
Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, Nirvana, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam. Those are like the 5 grunge bands.
aren't they all the same band?
No.
No, they're very different. But no, talking about Mudhoney, I mean,
Oh, yeah,
Can-
Mudhoney.
can-
Mudhoney's too early.
Actually, I do.
Mudhoney's early 80s, even.
I do have a favorite Seattle band, and it's that guy who's in 2 different bands, and he
Ben
passed away.
Gibbard.
Brad, the guy who passed away, but he.
Oh, Sean Smith.
Oh yeah, fucking that guy's one of the best singers ever.
Yeah, Brad
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Brad is kind of came in after. I just got that.
What
right.
was the other band he was in? There was 2 bands.
No, Stone Gossard was in 2 bands. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Well, okay, so they have
Stone
a song,
Gossard was in
Great-
Pearl Jam and Brad, and
Right.
Sean Smith's
Mhm.
baby was Brad.
but Sean Smith was in another band too. I thought he sang lead in another. But they have a song on the Beautiful Girls soundtrack that is just one of my favorite
Yeah.
songs.
Oh yeah.
Well,
That's
Shane,
a
which
good
I
one,
just-
Rob. Good call.
that's
Yeah.
what you missed.
Listen to the rain. That song's good. That guy. So that's my favorite Seattle band.
I mean,
Brad.
this is Shame, which is the one that came out 30 years ago, and this is the one that's got Green and Buttercup. Oh my Buttercup.
Yeah. So do I have respect from you? That's my favorite Seattle band.
Brad is like, I feel like the only people that know Brad are people that are like,
Cool, like
They're-
me.
well,
Yeah.
most of the people I know who like Brad played in bands.
Hmm.
Like,
Well, most people know him from the Beautiful Girl soundtrack. That's the best song on the soundtrack.
I don't even
And
know what that
that's
is.
great. That's a
You wanna
great
hear a funny
sound.
story about Brad? You wanna hear a funny story about that
Yeah.
band?
Yeah.
But
So they obviously also were very popular with Pearl Jam fans because Stone Gossard's in the band,
Sat-
right? So
Satchel, Brendan. That's his other
Mhm.
band. Satchel.
oh, I don't even know them.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
know Brad.
so
Thank
anyway,
you, Fred.
so some people I know, I guess, went to a Brad show, and Stone was like standing behind the fence, like a little ways away, and they were like, "Hey, Stone, come talk to us." And he was just ignoring them. So this drunk lady goes, "Hey, Stone, the only reason we're here is because of you, and you know that's a fuck you." He wouldn't
Yeah.
talk to him.
Yeah. But that's a good thing about being poor in the early 90s. You had to go buy records. So these are still from 91, 92. This guy
If
here.
you were poor, how you buying records, man?
Well,
Which- is that
CDs
a-
are twice as much. CDs are twice as
Brazil
much.
pressing,
Right?
or is that a US?
Yeah, that's a Brazilian pressing.
Oh, nice.
I bought them when they came out.
It's now the grunge bums.
I have the Pearl Jam on vinyl, but I bought the Nirvana on CD.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got all those, and I still have, the Soundgarden. I have the yellow, the one with the yellow cover, not the red one.
Which one? Ultra Mega OK?
Yep. Andy Wood was
No,
the
no,
first.
the Bad Mother Finger.
Oh, Bad Motor Finger is probably, I don't know.
Bad Mother Finger had two covers, right? A yellow
Yeah.
and a blue, and the red and blue.
Bad Motor Finger has Rusty Cage, which is might be their
Hey.
best.
Hey, they
song.
just
That's crazy.
Brendan, they put that album out, 30-year anniversary.
That's what I just held up, dude.
I thought you had an OG of it. I thought that was
It was never released on vinyl,
Oh. Wow,
or it probably was
That's not-
released in like Switzerland or something, or maybe in the UK. But it was a CD only. I had the CD. This is the brand new Smoke vinyl.
How's it sound?
Oh, yeah.
Sounds great.
I don't know Three Fish, man. Andres. I don't know Three Fish.
What's Three Fish? Is that another band?
Jeff Ament band. He's got another band too that I've got.
Oh, yeah.
It's not very good
Yeah.
though.
Well, what's his name
Yeah.
from Soundgarden and now Pearl Jam?
Matt Cameron?
Matt Cameron's been in a bazillion projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
Yeah.
what was interesting too is, God, Felipe, you might never know the guy's name, but Matt Cameron was out on Wednesday night because he had COVID. Because they canceled a couple of shows, but then they played.
Oh, yeah.
The guy that plays with
Cameron plays.
them.
He plays drums and bass, right?
No,
Or
he might play.
No.
He didn't play in Pearl Jam. He just
Yeah.
plays drums.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he
Was
plays.
Where's he playing Pearl Jam now?
Drums.
Drums.
Yeah.
He played drums, but I think he plays bass too in some other project.
Maybe so. I don't know. He
Yeah.
was obviously the drummer for Soundgarden.
He played drums
Yeah.
for my friend's band for 2 tracks.
Nice.
Okay, so Brendan, the song on Beautiful Girls is Satchel.
Oh,
Yes.
His band Satchel. Looks like they put out 2 or 3 albums.
yeah. I only know. So this record is Shame, which is like the first one they put out.
Mm-hmm.
And their second record, which I think came out in I want to say 4 years later, is good. But this is the one that's kind of mind blowing. And it's just because, at this point, not that many bands were getting sort of that 70s sound because of grunge,
Right.
and John Smith was the first guy that kind of was well, we're going to do something with a lead singer on piano. There weren't that many lead singer on piano bands in 93.
Yeah.
And it really had a cool kind of soulful, I don't know, kind of it's grunge, but it's like grunge meets Jackson Browne or something. It's got a real songwriter's kind of soulful feel to it.
If he has a rasp to his voice, he's lived a life, and you can feel the emotion.
Yeah, I mean,
it was a sad loss. He passed away, but he's a great singer.
Yeah. Well, he was probably having I'm guessing that there was some addiction involved.
He was addicted to
love. But that Shame is great. Shame's one of my favorite records.
Well, let's go. It's not on vinyl. It looks like the Satchel stuff, but go listen to Satchel.
Okay.
Yeah, that Mad Season at the Moor is a great record. I have that.
This Shame
Mad
is
Season's
kind of
great,
cool.
yeah.
It came in this clear and smoke vinyl. And it sounds good.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Temple of the Dog too. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it was recorded digitally. So
Temple of the Dog. Yeah. Okay. So by request, let's resume regular programming.
We can do whatever we want, man. It's our stream.
Okay. So
This is
first,
US of A. It's freedom, man. Freedom.
okay, freedom, man. Let's burn the books. Let's do it.
Oh.
Okay, so this is a Third Man pressing. This record's been out of stock for quite some time. It's a landmark record in Brazil in music, and Third Man is the first ever US issue release of this record, and it's a very important record. And people have been buying this. They have been quite. So it's Caetano Veloso's called Tropicalia. It's the first.
Can you say that slower?
I have the
Vinyl
Vinyl Me. Vinyl Me, please issued that too, Felipe.
Yeah, yeah. But this one came first. That's what they call first. But then, of course, yeah. So this record is very important because it was the first, one of the first pioneers in Brazil to mix electric guitars, electric instruments to acoustic, and that's what's called Tropicalia because it's a mix, kind of digesting what comes from outside, mixed with the tropical elements. And this is a mono pressing, and it sounds much better than any OG I've ever listened to. So, and people seem to be quite happy about it. I recommend the heavy jacket. The record is pretty heavy as well. Well packaging. I mean, it's a landmark record. I highly recommend.
Where do you get that?
How do you like that? How do you like that?
Third Man. Oh, it's amazing, Brendo. It's amazing. It's amazing. It beats any OG that I've ever heard. Yeah.
Oh, really cool.
I have to thank the Vinyl Me.
Because the OG is not cheap.
Oh no.
OG's like an $80 record.
Yeah. And lastly, let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? I got this guy this week.
Oh, cool.
That's Dexter Gordon. That's not an elephant.
Yeah.
He's very tall.
He is very
He
tall.
was very tall. He's like your height.
Well, tell us about the record, Felipe.
So this record, I was able to get it. It's so Music Matters Jazz has 2 records they pressed, but they never released. This is one of them.
Oh, they never released that.
No,
No.
Oh, that's cool.
and it's fantastic sound. You can feel like the air of the drums. It's like, it's ridiculous. It's so good. I compared to a couple of other pressings that I had, and this is like really, really way beyond anything. And the other record they pressed but never released is an SRX Indestructible. They only released as a 45.
Do you have that one?
No, it's still
It's
out of my reach at this point.
In the mail.
Right.
Yeah,
It's in
there's
the
not that
mail.
many copies, and it's not that cheap.
You know what you should do with all those test pressings? You should paint your version of the original cover on there, man.
That'd be cool, right? Make like a
Like do some
rendition.
mushrooms first and then do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. For real.
Well, the acoustic sound is really good. Vinyl Piper. If you have the 45, that series is amazing. And yeah, those are good. I have that one as well. But this one really surprised me. It's like a top Music Matters.
You'll have
really,
to come
really
visit.
for sure.
You'll have to come visit, and we can compare it to the original.
Ooh.
Yeah.
but
They have a mono or stereo.
Mono, because I think the original is a mono, and then the stereo came out. Or is it like 61? There might have been a mono and a stereo. I have a mono, I think. Let me check.
It is.
I showed two
Let-
weeks
let
ago.
me see.
I have that 70s mono with the RVG in it,
Mhm.
and Joe said
Mhm.
those are the same plates as the original.
Oh
That's
yeah.
cool.
So this is Brandon. This is 4083. So it should be like 61, 62, right?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Is that on
Um,
SRX vinyl or?
No, just regular 33.
Yeah, here's mine. It's a New York. There it is.
But it has a RVG in the dead wax, right?
Oh, this has a
Sure.
Plastilite and an RVG.
OG, bro. Of course
Wow.
it is.
Ooh.
First pressing.
Mine has an RVG.
Yeah, RVG and a Plastilite. So this would be the 62.
Mine
Yeah.
hasn't.
82 should be 62. Yeah.
This was a
That's
Christmas
gonna get-
present from my dad a few years,
Nice.
5 years ago.
That's nice. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
Solid.
Cool.
I really want that.
Yeah,
Is that I need to look at the.
it is. It's really good. It's a good record, Chris. You should have it,
Yeah,
especially if you like Dexter Gordon.
yeah, and it's like stripped down. It's Dexter and a trio, so it's kind of
If they never released it, that means Joe can do it in the Tone Poet
Well,
series.
Well, Chris, go look at the one I have,
Yeah,
which is
true.
the same plates as the original. It's a white B, like the mid 70s blue labels. They sound excellent. They're not cute, astronomical.
no, probably like
Yeah,
$60.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a fair assumption, Loki. Maybe not better than anyone else, but
Well, you know who did do it? Chad did it on those
Yes, on the Blue Note. Yes, 45. Yeah.
45. Yeah.
I
Does
wonder if
anyone
he'll ever
have
get
any-
those license- You think he'll get the license to repress those at some point? Since they're 45s, I mean, it could happen,
Who?
right? Chad.
Yeah. Mm,
I mean, Blue Note. Why doesn't Blue Note do these?
I mean, they
Well,
still
they are. They're putting out 50 records a year, man.
yeah.
No, I mean, if they could
They
do
couldn't-
a really nice.
I mean, if it didn't come out as Music Matters, he can release a Tone Poet. Easy.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if there's if there will be a cutoff where they start doing Tone Poets of the Music Matters stuff.
Well, it's special, like they did it for the Blue Train, so that door's already open.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But they use different photography than the original Music Matters. I have them both.
Mm.
There's different photographs on the inside.
Oh, yeah.
On the
Yeah.
inside, yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that they did that on purpose. Yeah, to make it different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to make it different. So they did do it slightly different. So it's
So how often can we keep reusing plates?
Mm. I think it depends. One steps you cannot do more than 1,000. Apparently, that's what they say. But I think if it's like how do they say, mother, father, whatever.
yeah.
you
I've
can do
heard,
more than 1,000.
I've heard everything from like 2,000 to 5,000.
Well, that's for a stamper, though. It's not a plate. I mean, the
Oh, the
plates,
plate.
as long as it's not on one step, they can make new stampers off of that. I don't know how many they can make off of a piece of metal, original piece of metal, and how many stampers they can make out of that. It's an interesting question.
Sure.
We need a pro on this one. We need
to talk to Gary.
I didn't watch all of the Baraka P Dubs. Was there news from his interview?
I don't watch any of it yet. I'm going to this weekend.
So what are you saying, Loki?
Slew of MMJs are about to hit the market, or what? Is that a question?
Well, the last time they hit the market was Mazzy messaged me, go there right now. So they dropped a bunch of 33s, regular 33s. So I got 3 of them.
That would be interesting.
In my mind, one of the best ones is A Night in Tunisia. I got
that's the best. That's
yeah.
part of the best Blakey. That's like blows them all away.
They dropped a solid Grant Green. They dropped Adam's Apple, and they dropped one other one.
Was that Adam's Apple was an SRX, right?
Oh, not Tunisia. Inner Urge, Rob.
Inner Urge. They were all regular ones.
Yes, 33. I got the same batch. Yes,
but I have Inner Urge 45 now. I actually sold
that one's available. That one's available right now for $150.
Actually, so I had a MMJ Inner Urge, but I sold it when I got an original.
Yeah, I sold it to pay for everything I got, and then I got that was right before they released the classic.
Yeah. So which Benny Green? The 1599.
Which one?
I don't know. Yes, okay, that's what they were talking about.
There's 3 Benny Greens on. There's 3 Benny Greens on Blue Note.
Yeah.
There's Soul Stirring.
Wait, Carlos, what do you mean? They talked about Benny Green as a tone poet?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I don't know, an MMJ.
But which title?
He said both. I don't know.
There's 3.
Well, Trophy.
Yeah.
Well, there wasn't there a Benny. Yeah, there is a Benny Green that's a Music Matters, right?
That's the best Benny Green.
No. I don't think they put a Music Matters, Rob. No.
I thought I saw. You sure?
I think.
Questioning Felipe's Music Matters jazz knowledge, man. Come on.
Soul Stirring.
I can't remember.
Soul Stirring is like. I never heard anybody play a trombone like so soft and like sweet as that record.
And I was really lucky. This record is like pretty minty. Like 2 years ago, I was at my regular store just buying record store day. On my way outside, let me just go search the jazz pins, and this guy was like $90.
Nice.
So
is it a first pressing or early pressing?
Oh yeah.
Soul Stirring and Back on the Scene.
Is it back on the scene? Yeah, that's an OG. It's really good. And yeah. No, this thing is really good.
100% sure there's no Benny Green.
Yeah. There's also Walking and Talking is the third one.
That's the one. Yes.
Oh, Loki. So here's an idea. You should go watch the whole video and then write up an essay about it on the Jazz Bums Discord, which everyone should join.
That's good. Yeah. I think I saw the interview. I mean, they didn't say much more than we already know, right? About the whole thing, right? Is there anything like super shocking new?
Well, no, they're reminiscing about the MMJ days, so I doubt it.
Yeah,
it's like that was way back 5-6 years ago.
Whatever, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's true.
Was that the silver age of the vinyl revolution?
Didn't they start like in 2007 or 8?
No,
I think it was around that.
2011, like the first batch, I think.
Yeah. No, I think it was even before that, Brandon. Yeah.
Really?
Maybe.
I have one that's like a 2010 pressing. I can't remember what it is.
What's up, Steve?
Hey, Steve. How's it going?
Happy Friday.
I'm going to throw out the link.
Thanks for joining.
My favorite Steve in the VC.
Oh yeah, everyone's.
There's so many Steves.
Yeah,
there's only one Steve.
Is there more than one? I mean, we have Steven. What are you doing there, Rob?
Well, if anyone saw my video from last week when I went to the show, I found the 2 records that Joe said they can't redo.
Right.
And I'm trying to. I'll find where they are when people are talking about stuff, because I had a shitload of records I picked up today to show.
Yeah.
But I found the Grand
Sweet Honeybee.
I found an OG mono Sweet Honeybee
Nice.
for $30.
Wow.
And I found the Grant Green. What's
Oleo.
the huh?
Oleo.
Yeah, I found that. That I paid a little more, but nothing for what it goes for. And they're both awesome. They sound great.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Sweet Honeybee.
Show them.
I bet you that the person, because that record wasn't very expensive a couple of years ago.
But most records were expensive, but nothing what they're like now. Well, look who's faded back into from obscurity.
Hey.
But what I mean is there were certain
Hey, Carlos. How's it going?
there were certain Blue Note titles that were kind of like not as desirable, even though they were desirable artists. And still, you can still get a lot of Duke Pearson records pretty inexpensive, but not that one anymore.
Oh,
no.
That being said, this is one of the records I picked up today.
Let's see it.
So this is interesting because when it originally was out, it was put out as someone else, but the record label went out of business, so it never got released.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the headliner for the original?
The headliner was Willie Wilson on trombone.
That was a good choice.
And I believe he died not that long after the record came out. So it was released as a Freddie Hubbard record, who's on here. Then I guess I forget the company who released it as a Freddie Hubbard. And then the late 60s, Prestige put it out as a Duke Pearson record. So it's a
slutty record. It was just all over the place.
Yes. So this is a early 70s pressing because it's that green label, but it's sort of not bright like they normally are.
It's the limey green.
Yeah. But that's that's really interesting about this record.
It's a cool cover.
Well, yeah,
very cool cover.
Cover's rad.
But I just got it today. I haven't even tried to listen to it, so very nice pickup. Can I just show some of the stuff I picked up?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Then this record store I'm going to, the guy's been parceling out a collection he bought. This guy kind of bought mainly from the early 70s on. So this is a green label of this, but I cleaned and played it. It sounds awesome. This on this record.
Are you moving furniture around over there, Felipe?
No, just the door. I want to grab some beer.
This is Will Davis. That's what's funny when they give different names. Is Will Davis someone else? Martin Rivera and Bill English and Ray Barbetto on
Barretto.
Yeah.
Barreto.
Drummer. Bill English is great.
This is just great. I mean, all the Kenny Burrells around this time period are just great records to listen to as far as I'm concerned. So this sounded nice.
Yeah.
Hang on, there's a question that we need to address.
Yes.
Are we officially giving Loki the Jazz Bones ombudsman position? I think that's a good
Exactly. So anybody has any complaint, any suggest anything, just talk to Loki. I don't care.
Yeah.
Why don't you just create a Loki thread in the Discord server? The complaint department.
Ooh, that's good. That's
Call it the complaint department.
Loki's HR.
Yeah. Oh God.
I think, my grandma worked at the complaint department at Bloomingdale's in New York, and she would tell stories about the people she talked to. It was hysterical.
Sazbo, it's funny. Oh shit.
I think has Mike Tones talked about this record?
I don't know.
It's a good one.
I have the CD of it too, but I found this.
It's a super bargain too.
Oh, this was $3.
Yeah, see what I mean? I think I paid $5.
That's just him playing monk tracks.
Nice.
He plays one original track called this Thalonica. But the rest are all monk
It
tracks.
sounds like a monk track, doesn't it?
You should send that along with my pile that you haven't sent me yet.
You can. I will go out this week, and no.
No.
Yeah.
What's up, Bill?
Hey
Bill.
guys. Hey everybody.
Hey. This, I think I've slowly back in 2019, Superior Viaduct reissued a bunch of Coltrane's. This is one of them.
Are they good? How good are they? Any good?
They sound. But when they came out, everything was like $20. Even now, their current reissues are like $25. They sound excellent. The pressings are nice and silent. The only thing they do different, even the covers are nice and thick, but they put their own lame label on them.
Right.
But,
It's like generic beer.
Right. Even some of these are. I paid $15 for this. Some of these don't go crazy, but they're
Did they
great.
do like sort of the less popular?
No,
Or
they
they
put
did
out
all-
a bunch of Impulse ones, the popular ones.
Okay.
I think those are earlier. Those are like 2017. But these are the Warner Brothers ones. They're great. So if you find them, but the great thing is their covers are really good. This is very thick cardboard.
Nice.
Really nice.
It's pretty good.
Okay. This is on later Blue Note. I mean,
How
this
is
is.
that
Oh,
one?
George Adams, yeah.
I mean, I just picked it up. I haven't listened to it, but this.
Because I
is
see it a lot for like $8, $7.
Is that 80s? It is 80s Blue Note, Rob?
Yeah, 87, 1987.
It's a digital Blue Note.
Yeah. And it was funny. You can book them from the record.
Oh, you should call.
Anyone wanted to book
Let's
them
call
to
them
play.
right now on air. Let's call them.
Let's book them for next Friday.
Yeah, let's book
Yeah.
them for the Jazz Bums mixer.
Yeah.
Let's have Bart Simpson calling them.
It can be like SNL where you take a break and then
Yeah. We
Buy
take a break
Adams
and
and
play-
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 Hey, Loki, can you get on top of this right now?
Yeah.
Take a screenshot.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So no, go ahead, Rob.
This, you won't believe how much I paid. I've had this before. Might not be for me, but this is a New York OG Plasticine.
Yeah.
Everything. I paid $1 for this today. $1.
I had it.
If it's not
I
for
had
you,
it,
you
I
can
saw-
just send it to me. I don't have that. Hey, nice Pac-Man
No.
shirt, by the way.
I saw mine, Rob. I hear. I didn't like this one.
yeah, because
But
you
that's-
compare it to the other
Yeah.
other one with voices, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And that one's like a total letdown.
Yeah. I remember
But-
listening to it and wasn't super thrilled. I don't have that one.
No,
But
no.
it's $1.
If for $1, I would have. Yeah.
For $1, it's a nice. I mean,
Okay. I found 3 original OJCs. I have a 2000 OJC
Ooh, nice.
of this. But nice. This is a great album.
Mm-hmm.
I have a twofer with this and the Cats.
That looks good. Hey, when's the Cats coming out?
I think they delayed it, didn't they? It was supposed to come out in
Looks like-
November or October.
Yeah.
What's that store up in Boston, the comics place that does records?
Newberry.
Yeah, I've got a Newberry pressing of that. That's on like a white vinyl or something.
Yeah, it's the current 2011. That's the one you can kind of sort of get now.
Yeah.
I never see the OJC of this one.
Oh, nice.
And this has, yeah.
I think I've got a Japanese one of that. I think.
Yeah.
I do have that record. Though.
I wish Kraft would put out like their full list of the OJCs that they're gonna do.
Well, stick around because I found something really killer at the end of everything I found today. So this
is that like a mid '80s, early '80s OJC?
This is a 1982
Yeah.
because it has the thick cover.
Nice.
Yeah, and no barcode.
Yeah, no barcode. Still in the shred.
It's a nice real chemical print photograph.
Every time I see this record, it's always muffed up. But this is
this is amazing. I love this one.
Yeah.
I have an original that's like the cover looks like it was in a bathroom for years.
But it had a different cover originally, right?
Yeah, but that's the second cover. There's a third cover.
Yeah.
Drew Weissman saying they're delaying all the new OJCs. Does anybody know about that?
Well, they've been delaying them.
Yeah. Some had some problems.
Huh. Okay. I hadn't heard that.
I'm happy to find this anytime you see a Phineas Newborn record, get it. They're typically not that expensive, and they're awesome. That's one good record that Vinyl Me Please I think still has his Atlantic album.
That's a super early looking one.
This is a really early one, and I didn't really so on this one he does solo, trio, and quartet. He plays with his brother. I think his name's George Newborn or something, but his brother played with Sun Ra. So on this, his brother plays guitar.
Are they playing like cowboys and Indians or what?
What do you mean?
Oh, for real? Okay.
So also, Philly Joe is on here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But his stuff is good, and that's an awesome ass cover.
Yeah.
Do Matchbox cars?
Yes. Okay. This I picked up looked very interesting to me.
Oh, it does.
Who's on it? Andrew Sorrell on drums, Oliver Lake on horn, Reggie Workman on bass.
You know Marilyn Christel?
Is she playing piano?
I don't know, but she's doing something weird right there. I'll tell you that.
It looks cool to me.
Here, let me stretch before you take the picture.
Is
Oh,
she
sorry, we took
stretching,
it.
or I don't know what she's doing, but he's actually playing his bass.
He's a badass.
Nice.
I don't know what she's doing, and I don't know this label. Does anyone know?
Maybe she plays the femur.
Leo Records. I've never seen that one.
26, huh?
Maybe she's tuning her farts or something.
Bro, it's still just
That's the unreleased track.
Tuning her lady farts. All right, Mort Lastman, thank you. This for the last 2 months, I've been finding Red Garland records like crazy. This is a Japanese press.
Oh, Jazz End. Nice.
That's the one I see.
That.
I see that one everywhere.
All right, hang on. We have to take a break.
Thank you,
here.
Roberto.
Yeah. Kudos.
The peanut gallery. Nice. See, this is how you can get our attention, people.
All right, Lastman, I need your Lastman, I need your help on this one. Does anyone know this? Kenny Gill.
No.
I've seen it, but I don't know what it.
This is on Atlantic, and look at that lineup.
Oh, then it's super funky spiritual, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Bob Byrd, cool. I know that guy.
Nice.
But I don't think Kenny Gill.
Can you hold up the cover again? The front cover. Wait, bring it a little closer. Like
there he is.
Okay,
That's
never
Kenny
mind.
Gill on the piano.
I thought I saw a lobster claw. I was trying to see if there was a lobster on.
This is a Rorschach. Jazz Bum's Rorschach test.
All right, Lastman says that
you're a psycho, Bill.
At other labels are free jazz, but this white label promo, I love.
Is that a New England thing where people just see lobster claws everywhere?
It is, and even after we move away from New England, it stays with us.
What about top
lobster?
Hey, Bill,
Yeah.
what the fuck are lobster claws?
Lobster claws, right?
Oh, that's cool.
That looks fresh.
I've never seen that one.
Very fresh, yes.
Yeah.
This is a good lineup here too.
That's a really good record
A lot of people.
for an $8 record. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How much?
Really good Epistrophe, that's neat.
Oh.
Mysterioso.
Okay. What the store I went to had a ton of early 70s. But I hadn't looked through my collection. I didn't think I had this one. So if I do, I'll probably make one available.
That's a killer record.
Yeah.
I'll just give you my address. You can send me anything that's available, like that Donald Byrd with voices. You can just send them over.
And I'm going to say it again because I have both. The second pressings that came out in the 70s, 80s of contemporary sound fantastic.
No.
Yeah.
I've been finding them.
They sound so good.
Yeah, they sound really good. And then another Red Garland. This is
Nice.
Sessions that weren't on albums he recorded with this lineup.
I think I might have that one. Maybe.
And what's great about these some of these are
Van Gilders.
Van Gelders. This is a Van Gelder.
Nice.
So, okay, so here's the big thing I found today, but I'm leaning towards setting it free to the universe.
It is really big.
This is big. So I know there was a blue cover one that came out in the later 80s. This is the original that was numbered. So this was mastered by George Horn. It's 12 discs.
Nice.
Here's what's funny. Look at it's a really shitty cover that they came up with on this, but the booklet is attached to it.
Oh, that's cool.
Let me
We
see.
need to see the inside, man.
It looks like they that's like how classical.
Those old 78s, right?
Yeah, look how it's numbered. The person fucked up numbering it.
That looks like something I would do.
Yeah,
That's worth even more.
Yeah. What do the records look like?
But I mean, it looks like they put out at least over 6,000 of these. But
yeah, show the label, Rob. Show what the labels are.
The cool thing about these is they're in proper sleeve. This came out in 1980.
Oh, they did this fireworks. That's cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
these look like OJCs. Like they kind of are OJCs, but this came out like 2 or 3 years before OJCs. But these are mint. The records are mint.
Nice.
I don't like the way they don't label each album.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like
So
that.
you
either.
can't figure out which one. Yeah.
Yeah, so they sort of like the way Mosaic did it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
That's,
and then you got to spend all this time trying to figure out what's what.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I'll keep that up.
so
Awesome.
in a sense, could be this one be like a seed project for the OJCs coming later, just like the Blue Note
I think
did
maybe
those
they thought
boxes
they
before the
loved the
Tom
way-
Poets.
I think they love the way like this came out, and they decided to do OJCs. I don't know, but the back cover is kind of cool. Look at that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nice.
Wow. Nice. Cool find.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So I'll
Yes,
probably end up selling this because I have a majority of this stuff.
Yeah. You should listen to the whole thing first, though.
No, I'm gonna do a comparison and see how nice it sounds. So
Yeah.
Hey, there's a question from Loki. I have a real jazz question, but it's about digital sources. How much better is the Mofi Nefertiti than the music on vinyl version? Anybody know?
I don't know.
well, everyone kind of says that. I don't know if a lot of people have the music on vinyl version.
I don't have the music on
Mark
vinyl.
says he does.
And I would think that I heard the rumor I hear about music on vinyl, especially since I don't know, are they sort of owned by Columbia or have an interest in them? Is
Not
some of the titles are analog, like they get the tapes, or not the tapes, they get the original plates and use those.
Interesting. I've heard
But
that.
I heard maybe some of those Miles Davis titles are analog, but I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah. I mean, most of the Mofis that I had the chance to compare to OGs, the Mofi better.
Yeah.
It has more clarity, extension. Everything just sounds like a lot. You hear a lot more from the. It doesn't sound like you have like dowels on your speaker, something like this.
Well, Mark's put this one to bed.
Yeah.
I like the MOV stuff.
What I didn't even get to read it. What did you say?
We'll read faster, man.
Oh yeah, there's been some people answering that question in the chat.
He says it was meant to, he says he had the MOV and compared it to the Mofi, and he couldn't believe the difference.
Mm-hmm.
You mean that the Mofi was better, Mark?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, Nick. Oh yeah.
But for a very smart guy, Mark, that was a horribly written response.
Was it? I thought it was fun. It's very hurtful.
Yeah.
It was a backhanded compliment.
Okay, I got some stuff.
It was. It was a definition of a back.
Are you done, Rob?
Not for now. I am. I'm gonna go
For
find
now.
those other
We'll
records.
reserve his
I
rights
know
for
this too. This is my old. It's got tape
nice.
and stuff, but you know what? Even though the cover is like taped and all funky, the vinyl is super nice. So the original cover had the white Riverside label like the OJC does, but this one had the blue because it was actually the second cover. I think the first cover has him on a piano. I'm trying to remember. Anyway, I was just grabbing that. So I traded in a bunch of stuff. Let's see what I got here. There. This is really cool. Lee Konitz Quintet.
Oh, that doesn't that you posted earlier.
Cool.
Yeah, I actually went back and it was cheaper than I thought. It was $12, and this copy's mint. there's a really cool band. It's Marshall Brown on trombone, Dick Katz on piano and electric piano. I actually really like the electric piano stuff he does. Eddie Gomez on bass and Jack DeJohnette on drums. It's pretty sweet.
Wow, that is sweet.
And it's super
What'd you
clean.
say you gave for it? $15?
12.
12, nice.
Yeah.
Milestone. Is that the
Is
brown label?
everyone- He's starting to have some sort of resurgence that everyone's starting to discover him.
I don't know. I mean,
Maybe.
I kind of feel like yes, because I just kind of feel like I hear the name more often. Here's the label. It's actually on the turntable.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It actually, this one has almost like, this is, some of these early ones have like the faux deep groove.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the Gary Bartz on Milestone I got for Notes and Tones a few months ago.
Oh, I forgot to show her.
But anyway, it's pretty groovy, and he does. It's actually interesting. He does some Bela Bartok stuff in here from the Microcosmos, and then he has some originals, and then he does Body and Soul. So there's a couple. There's just all kinds of stuff on this record. It's actually shocking. It's pretty. It's a pretty substantial lengthwise. It's like 50 minutes.
Who else is in the quintet, Brandon?
Marshall Brown, Dick Katz on piano, Eddie Gomez on bass, Jack DeJohnette on drums. So it's a pretty. This is 1970, so you're starting to get groove oriented post bop at this point. Yeah. So
That looks cooler.
it's kind of right up my alley because right now early 70s is kind of my favorite.
Yep, agreed. Me too.
I'm so into it. I picked up a Mint to replace my. I had a radio copy that was a little worn, but I got this cheap, and I love this record. So I didn't even look like it was played. Yeah. It was still in the shrink, but I took it off because it's a gatefold.
That's nice. and by the way, there's a nice West Montgomery coming at the record store day, Black Friday.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that list
there
out?
Will be one. No, but there's West Montgomery, there's Les McCann, the Bill Evans, and a couple more that we know of already.
Okay, so this is, we were talking about this the other day. I saw it for $3. I couldn't pass it up. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's a great record.
This is the American pressing from 83, I believe.
86.
86, sorry.
Yeah.
Michael Kuskuna is the engineer or producer.
Yeah.
I can't see his band on here, but he's a British sax player. So this is a really cool record.
Yeah,
and I'm digging it. I've played it a few times.
Yeah, and he's pretty cool. I mean, he has many different phases in his career. You can tell he always changing. His most recent records are really amazing as well.
That one's pretty fun. I mean, you can tell it's mid 80s. It's got an 80s feel to it, but it's really good. Okay, this is it's actually not very free at all. This is David Murray Octet. So far, this is my favorite David Murray. I was talking about this on our stream or on our thread. I really like this one. The band is David Murray tenor, Henry Threadgill alto, Bobby Bradford trumpet, Lawrence Butch Morris cornet, Curtis Clark piano, Wilbur Morris bass, Steve McCall percussion. So this is Soul Note. And I keep finding these Soul Notes for $10 and they're just pristine. Oh no, wait, sorry, it's Black Saint.
Yeah.
I keep finding these Soul Notes and Black Saints for cheap that are super clean. This one's really cool. This one is definitely more on the free side. A little
really hard, right?
Really hard. The band is really cool. So the band
that's amazing.
And it's got a really cool, nice, really kind of cool 70s style pics of everybody. There's the band. So you've got Mark Gray, Eddie Henderson, Oliver Lake, Hannibal Peterson, Don Pullen, Dewey Redman, and Buster Williams. So a pretty cool band, and the cover's really great.
Oh yeah,
It's just a really neat.
That is
I don't
cool.
know, I don't know what's going on, but it's groovy.
Mhm.
It's on Horizon. Sounds really good.
Mhm. Yeah, most of Billy Hart stuff is just great.
Yeah, so that was a cool find. And I think it was $12. This record, I'm telling you guys, this record's awesome. This record is so good.
I've never seen that one.
This is a killer, funky, deep. This one's like VG, but it plays fine. And I got it for $6. I think you can usually get this record for 15 to 20. But if you like funky Rhodes, piano, overdriven Rhodes, like Headhunters kind of stuff, this record,
Oh yeah,
this record is so much fun.
Does he sing on it?
No, there's no singing.
Then I'll look into getting that.
Yeah,
He's a great singer.
yeah, I like it better when he doesn't
yeah,
sing.
no, it's good.
But
yeah.
but this is just a funk record. It's him playing Rhodes. It's a trio plus percussion plus. There's a one of the guys plays like I think he plays 5 different instruments. Is kind of the Jimmy Rouser plays bass violin,
Nice.
electric bass, bells and percussion, and you've also got a conga player. So you've got, piano, bass drums, congas, and then percussion or violin or whatever. So it's a really cool funky. And Les McCann is mainly plays a Fender Rhodes on this, but he's got like an ARP and a Moog. So you get a little bit of
Yeah.
it's pretty rad.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I just
It's
listened to it.
awesome.
Yeah.
And I got it for $6, and I got it yesterday, and I was just like, this looks cool. So I took it on the listening station, and I was like, this is great. So go
That's
get this. This record's
About 8-inch records, probably.
that record's so much fun. Gabor Zebo.
Oh, I know this one, right, Rob?
Yeah, Zazbo, man. Zazbo.
Yeah. No one can pronounce a name worse than you.
No, it's true.
But it's memorable, Zazbo.
That's
Gabor
a good
Zabo.
one. It's a yeah.
I think it's Gabor Sabo. I think that's how you say it. Gabor Sabo. He's
Zazbo.
Hungarian, right? Hungarian Gypsy.
Yeah, it's
This
in the
record's
machine
pretty cool.
right now.
My favorite of his CTIs is the Rambler, but this one's pretty good too. This one's
Yeah, I'm
funky.
good. I like that one.
The Rambler is great. The Rambler is the one to get, but this one's good, and you can get this one still for under $20.
Nice.
Anyway, more funky is this Don Pullen, and this has George Adams as well. This is more of a funk album, funk jazz. I remember looking here. I can't. The writing's too small for me to read it. It's tiny, but it does have George Adams on some of it, and a lot of different hard hitters.
Zabo.
The
Zabo.
Zazbo.
It's definitely not Zazbo.
Zalbo.
I'll go to my grave Zazboing.
What's going to be on your grave, bro? John Hicks. Okay.
John Hicks. I've only played this one once, so I can't talk about it too much. But it has Bobby Hutcherson, Walter Booker, and Olympia Hicks, who I believe is his daughter. But it's pretty cool. This is on Teresa Records.
Shoji said you're wrong as well, Rob.
Ooh.
I'm always wrong, but I'm
You know it's not Zazbo, but I think it's Sabo with the accent on the first syllable. This is pretty
It's gonna
cool.
be Zebo from now on for me.
Nice.
It's Zebo. Yeah, that's it.
Gazebo.
Gazebo. I'm surprised you didn't say gazebo.
Yeah,
This
me
is
too.
pretty fun. This is a fun record.
I
I
have
grabbed
some
it.
respect for the man.
I grabbed it because it was pretty cheap.
Somebody else did that recently, I thought.
It's a fun record. It sounds like 70s cop shows.
I think we're talking about on the Discogs.
He is buried a bit on it, but I got it from Mazzy.
I like it.
That cover, That cover's great, but that doesn't look like Billy D. Williams.
Yeah, I know. You said he looks like.
Oh no.
He looks like a Filipino Billy
He
D.
looks-
Williams.
He looks like Bruno Mars. He does.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, true.
But he doesn't look like Billy D. Williams. This was what I picked up today. I'm stoked. This is an OG.
Oh, nice.
What is that?
And the reissue series just came out. The Betty Davis. There's a reissue series
Yeah,
just came
I know
out.
they
this week.
I know they came out, and they're all supposed to be really good. I saw this one. It was $40. It was a VG. It played great, so I grabbed it. I'm gonna grab Nasty Gal and the other one on the new reissues, but I couldn't resist it. It's
Oh no.
I had the Nasty Guy one. I just wasn't into it. I don't know. I had a copy and I sold it because the reissue went up to like $60 for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, I like this one.
Mrs. Miles. Yeah.
This is the one I like the best.
Okay, that makes sense.
No, they're married, right?
But I like Nasty Gal too.
Well, they were married.
That's how she got the name Davis.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, she's pretty damn hot.
For sure.
I know how to pronounce Davis.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Davis. Here we go. This is pretty cool. Actually, I'll do it in the order. I got it. I picked this up, or I start the record shop guy's like, I know what you like. He's like, you're gonna like this record, and I put it on, and it's like, this is amazing. This is one of the best trio records from the 70s I own. And it's interesting because it's like, Mary Lou Williams, you think more of her, I don't know, her like bebop piano from the 50s.
Yeah.
This isn't anything like that at all. It is groovy. It is amazing. The bass work, the bass lines in this is just, it's just cool. It's modal. Some of it's modal, some of it's soul. There are some kind of standards thrown in there too. This record is amazing. And it kind of reminds me that, because I know her stuff, but I was never like a big, it might be blasphemous to say, but I was never a big Dizzy Gillespie fan until I heard his 70s stuff with Mike Longo. With Mike Longo in the 70s, like his stuff on Perception is like mind-blowing, and I was like, this is Dizzy Gillespie. Like it wasn't like swing or anything like that, or it wasn't Latin based like some of the Latin based stuff. The stuff he does on Perception is like, it's like post bop funky groovy stuff, and I kind of feel like that's the same way how I feel with finding Mary Lou Williams in this like 70s vein, and this one's really good too. So I picked it up right after because Mike Notes and Tones kind of posted it, and I was like, wait a minute, I think I know where that record is. It's at a shop down the street, so I went and grabbed it. Well, and this one's really good too. So these are both piano trios from the 70s. I think this is 74, and I think Zoning might be 73. But they're fantastic records if you like, any groove-oriented piano trio stuff. And this I grabbed because it was $4. This is Arthur Blythe.
Okay.
This is pretty cool. It does sound very like 80s jazz in a certain way. It kind of reminds me of Lounge Lizards, or like, because there's some funky, like wacky guitar and stuff like, kind of like Mark Ribot does on Lounge Lizards. Some scraping guitar and rhythmic scraping guitar and some kind of crazy out there drifting sax riffs, but it's pretty good.
Is he holding like a giant chicharron in his hands? What is that?
No,
it's a blur.
It's like a blurred sax.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the Zoning has Mary Lou Williams going into some avant-garde stuff, which is amazing. I was gonna say
it's just a killer record.
That
it kind of blew my mind.
Didn't she actually do an album with someone else that's very avant-garde?
Well, she had a really contentious relationship with the avant-garde. She shat on them constantly, and she had a duo with Cecil Taylor that was recorded. It's on Pablo.
On Pablo, I have that one. Yeah.
But it's almost like they're fighting it's an amazing record to listen to because she is like trying to reel. She has a rhythm section with her, and she's like trying to reel in Cecil Taylor the entire time. Like, can you hear her shouting at times?
Oh, wow.
She had this she dives in. So what's interesting for her to me, or about her to me, is because despite this contentious relationship with the avant-garde, she still incorporates elements of that on records like Zoning, or even agreeing to do this performance with Cecil Taylor. So yeah, anyway, that Zoning is one of my favorite records.
And this actually, do you know the Free Spirits one? Because it's really good.
Yeah, I have.
This one has elements. It's not quite as good as Zoning, but it still has a lot of similar elements.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure.
Anyway, okay, so this one's really great. I don't know a lot of the people on it. It is Dewey Redman, obviously, Ted Daniel, Jane Robertson, Cerrone, Eddie Moore, and Danny Johnson. This one gets a little bit out there, but not that much. It's got a lot of groove. Still got a lot of groove to it. And like the other, he's got coincidences. This is around the same time, so it's got some really cool photos inside. Everyone looking 70s. This is 73. I think Coincidence is like 74, if I remember correctly. Might be off on that. And then here's my last one. This was like a $3 record. This is really cool.
Oh yeah, I've got that. It's good.
This is a Milestone Moody, and I'm kind of digging the. This is totally different, but Tom McIntosh does some really cool arranging, and this is like somewhat of a big band kind of sound, but it's still pretty groovy because you're still talking about late 60s James Moody. So if you see this, it's like a $3 to $5 record. Pick it up.
Yeah, I like that one.
That's all I picked up.
Good stuff.
Nice.
What have you been up to, Fred?
Me?
Yeah. You got any new records lately?
I actually went to a place called Docks in Fort Worth, and I did get I bought some jazz. I don't have it with me. I'm in the suburbs right now, seeing some friends. They're putting their kid to bed, but I bought a Coltrane bootleg that I didn't have. I forget when it was, 60 in Dusseldorf or something, but I'll buy any bootleg of any recording. Oh, what I did finally pick up, I don't know what the general consensus was about the Dolphy Coltrane session that I guess was unreleased.
Mm-hmm. The Gate? You mean the Gate session that just came out?
Yeah, the one that just came out a few months ago. I don't know if anyone had their take on it, but I listened to My Favorite Things. Like, I didn't even get to side 2 because I listened to that like 3 or 4 times today. So I was excited to finally get that. Some Brodsman, which I don't know if you'd throw that in the realm of jazz, but certainly free improvisation. I'm trying to think what. I picked up a couple of the. So they didn't have a bunch of used jazz, which used jazz in Texas is rare anyway. We didn't have distribution for all of those labels when they were actually first being released, and so used jazz is kind of a rare thing. You have to find like a neighborhood where people have sold used jazz in the last 10 to 20 years. But anyway, they did have a lot of reissues, and I picked up a couple of the AP, like the Billie Holiday.
Those are great.
What the hell is it called? Anyway, and then I noticed the Roy Haynes finally got released, so which that had been backed up for like what?
A year and a half?
3 years or something.
That was
5
like
years.
titles they announced, I think.
Yeah, it was one of the first they announced, and I finally saw it on the shelf. I was like, oh shit, I'll get that. So I got some. I forget what else I got in the jazz world. Then then some other random stuff. But
did you?
I got a reissue of Bells, Albert Ayler's Bells. I've been wanting that for a while. I just hadn't picked it up. So anyway, those were the first records I bought in like 6 months, and I probably shouldn't have because I think I'm gonna go to the Austin Records show next week, but I did. So anyway,
so what'd you think of the store?
Yeah, like I think I'll go back. It's like right next to the apartment, 1, and then 2 for like reissues and stuff. Like I can definitely see going in and getting stuff. It just didn't have a bunch of used jazz, which.
Did you go to the back area?
Yeah, I did. Hold on, it didn't have any used jazz that I was excited to like.
Right. Jesus, Felipe, tell me was that typing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it had stuff, but
I've gone through all those records like 75 times. So
yeah, so
that.
you picked
So
out
Fred's
everything.
DNA
anyway.
and your DNA matched to touch each
Yeah,
other.
we're married now, basically.
Yeah, well, sometime we got to go to those other stores, but
we can do that for sure.
yeah, it was.
Josie is pretty good. I mean, Josie Records over in Dallas. Have you been there yet?
Okay, so I didn't. I went to they have a location up here in the suburbs that I went to,
Okay.
and they also had a location in Lubbock. They expanded out to Lubbock, where I used to live, where I was getting my master's. And every time I'd go for Lubbock, there'd be some good $5-6 records there, like that Arthur Blythe might have been there. Stuff like that you're happy to pick up. It's enjoyable listens. Some ECM stuff here and there. The one here in the suburbs, I have not been to the main one yet, but the one they have out here in the suburbs was horrible. Just dollar bin fodder for miles in the jazz section. Stuff that I would say is insulting to good jazz, and so I won't go back to that one. But I have not been to the big location yet.
Yeah, they got a lot of that there too. But I mean, I've found some good stuff in those piles. They're like $3 to $8 records, kind of all kinds of shit. There'll be like 40 copies of some, I don't know, some terrible record that you don't want.
Yeah, a lot of white people living room jazz. But like I said, I might go to that records show next weekend. We'll see, and then. But yeah, I shouldn't have even spent the money that I did at Doc's, but you know how record collectors are. I sat there with the pile in my hand thinking I should set this down, and then next thing you know, I was at the register and they had taken my money. So
they do a pretty good job with RSD. They'll have they'll have RSD in the morning, and then they'll have local bands come in.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of times they'll have like a little flea market out back for like whatever, and then free beer. So
cool.
That's great.
Yeah, free beer's good, man. There's another store that I'll tell you. We need to go to Record Town.
Okay.
Because they got a shit ton of. I mean, their prices aren't necessarily cheap or anything. They're Discogs prices, but they got a lot of stuff.
Cool. Yeah, it's weird. For some reason my weekends have just been booked up, but I think it's going to settle down within the next few weeks. So.
Cool.
Anyway.
Awesome. Oh, Disco Matt's Doc's over so many times. It's a good store. Yeah, you like Record Town? They do. Yeah, it's true. There's not really. I wouldn't say there's a great jazz record store in Dallas, Fort Worth.
Yeah, I mean that's so rare for Texas. Like,
I went to. I've got some records I'll show in a minute. I went to End of an Ear down in Austin. Found some decent stuff there, and then Waterloo in Austin is great for reissues. They have everything.
Yeah, they've got all the reissues. End of an Ear is just up my alley because I can go find the weird jazz shit reissues, and then I can also find the weird electronic shit that I'm into too. So I really love End of an Ear, and I always End of an Ear has a decent their back collectible section with it's near the wall. So sometimes I'll grab stuff from there too. So
yeah, I like that store a lot. I wish we had those stores here.
Anyway, I just thought I'd jump on and say, hey, I'm going to head off and see my friends now, but hope you all have a good evening, and I'll see y'all soon.
Nice seeing you, Fred.
Bye.
That was cool.
All right.
So we have 3 people that have gone through all the records at Doc's. That's great.
I picked up
That's cool.
a couple different things. You guys probably really enjoy this band. Akira Ishikawa and the Count Buffaloes.
Fuck yeah.
Ishikawa. Yeah.
This
is good.
What is it? Can you describe that one?
This one's a bit funkier. So I would say some of their stuff kind of is funky, but then I think a lot what you guys kind of like more gets kind of more out there. This one isn't as out there. It's a little bit more tame, a little bit funkier, but yeah. I guess it's about his trip to Africa. And so anyway,
That's cool, man. I love his stuff.
that one, and then I think you guys would enjoy this band. It's not necessarily like straight up jazz, but Kokoroko.
No, I never heard of them, but it looks good.
Yeah. So that, and then this album is their newest album. But yeah, kind of up that jazz alley, but a little bit more subdued, you know. So anyway, that's all I picked up so far.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I got this. Let me show you this one. I've showed this 2 or 3 times, but I highly recommend it. People get this Ashikawa record.
Mhm.
Really good.
And that's him by himself, right?
No. This is it's a band.
Or I mean, not by himself, but not with the Count Buffalo, right?
Right, it's him and his friends. It says on the back. So really good. The funniest thing on here though is the Hey Jude cover. And they sing it in Japanese. But yeah, it's super funky. I've got this, and I've got another record of his. I got some stuff to show. Let me show that. So down when I went to Austin, I did get some records. And some of this stuff I may have shown before, but oh well. So this one is one I got down at End of an Ear. Kenny Drew, Ruby My Dear on Steeplechase, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. Really enjoyed this one a whole lot. Also got this one called Morning. So it's him with what? Can't hear you.
Felipe, do you hunt and peck when you're typing?
I have a messed up keyboard.
You have a messed up keyboard? Anyway, this was Kenny Drew with Philippe, Catherine, and
Neil Stenning.
Yeah. This one's good.
I have
This
that one too.
kind of sucks though. It's kind of noisy, but
Did he do the most amount of albums for Steeplechase? Like
There's a bunch. Well, he has all the duo ones.
yeah. He's
Yeah,
got
I have
He
some
has
of them
like
too, yeah.
he has like 4 or 5 trio ones too.
Well, Dexter did a bunch too, though. Yeah, this one I like this one better. I think of those two. What's next? I found this, which is great.
Don't you love that record?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh,
This one, I'll probably buy a better copy. This is a promo, but it's kind of beat up. But yeah, I really like this
I
record.
had this. Yeah, I had this one on my Porsche this week. It's pretty good.
It's really good. Had that, and then I would just listen to this. I've had this for a while, so
Nice.
this record everybody needs to get a copy of.
Yeah, it's good.
I keep putting it in my Discogs cart and then it leaves.
So good, man.
On
So
its
good.
own.
Do you agree with Mike
Yeah,
that
it doesn't
Timeless
want to
are the
pay
greatest sounding records ever?
I don't know about that, but this one does sound really good.
It has there's a couple different versions of it, right?
I don't know, probably.
That's
one
the
with a-
original. No, that's the original version.
Yeah,
No,
there's one with the Kabuki lady on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this. I don't know. The Kabuki cover looks kind of cheesy.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
cover-
me.
But anyway, so it's got Louis Hayes, Junior Cook, Woody Shaw, Ronnie Matthews on piano, Stafford James on bass, and Guillermo Franco on percussion. I don't know who he is, but so this is a really good record.
Did you just like mumble your way out of
Hey,
saying
look,
that?
James Franco record.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've had this for probably 6 months to a year, but it was in the haven't really cataloged it pile yet, and I found it, so I listened to this like twice this week. This was a cool find. This is a Gato Barbieri on ESP disc.
That one's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's called, I don't know. Well, In Search of the Mystery is what it's called. But it is super kind of free jazz, kind of crazy. And so it's got him
How does your copy sound?
like shit.
Oh,
Let's kind of
it's not like the greatest recording either. So
Yeah, it's just the first record he ever did too, which I didn't realize when I bought it. But so Gato Barbieri on sax, of course, Callow Scott on cello, Norris Jones on bass, and Bobby Cap on drums. So the cello and bass is kind of neat.
yeah, the cello is the best part. Like
I agree
the
with
cello
you.
sax,
Mhm.
cello meets sax.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I think it's a cool record though.
There too. We got that. I like the cover a lot too.
Yeah, the artwork's awesome. All right.
And then let's see some other stuff here. All right. I think I may have shown this one last time, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but man, I've listened to this record like 5 times.
Yeah, isn't that good?
It's fucking great. So yeah, Booker Little, Booker Irvin, Sounds of Inner City. It's on this weird label called TCD.
Yeah, but it's reissued from something else, but it's a live recording, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember who the original was on. I think the original is just called. It's just called Booker Little and Booker Irvin or something like
I don't know who else is on it. Doesn't say, but I really enjoyed this one. Really highly recommend it. It's like a $5 record. I got this Elemental. I want to talk about this live at Peps, and sound wise, it sounds pretty good.
They do sound good.
It sounds pretty good.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'd buy more of their stuff or not. I mean, like, maybe if I got it cheap enough. Like the artwork's okay, you know.
They do the gatefold or no?
Yeah, it's the gatefold, yeah. But it's like super paper thin gatefold, and it's super cheap cover. But you know, for $25, it's I wanted this record, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's a really good show.
But
Yeah,
I've said this before. If you want a good way, so that is just one part of the show.
Right.
So that 70s dedication series that MCA put out, they have a twofer, which has more of the show. Then there's one that came out in the late 70s called something. I'll pull it out. Something Date, which is the last part of the show. So there's more of the Peps. It's if you get that twofer and the Late Date album, it's all of the Pep show. Which is I think that Late Date's the best part of it, the one that came out later.
But you like that one, right, Chris?
Oh yeah, I like it. I just don't know. I just don't know about the Elemental reissues. I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, the original is actually really beautiful as far as because it's all laminated and stuff.
Exactly. I found this. I haven't listened to it yet. You have this one, don't you, Felipe? I thought you did.
No, I don't have. I have Binker Moses only.
Okay, so this is on Gearbox. I know nothing about this guy. I just remember an interview with, the guy from Gearbox. We talked about these records. So
he's a British jazz musician?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. He's a British jazz musician, and so I saw this and picked it up. So we'll see about that one. I haven't listened to it yet. I haven't listened to this yet, but I'm super excited about it. So
that's the 3-1.
Yeah. So this one's,
Is that a 70s session?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
No. That's from the 60s.
Was it 60s? Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to it yet. I just
It originally came out as one LP.
Right.
Are any of you getting the Newland box set, the Mingus?
I don't know. Maybe.
No.
Wait, what is that?
I hadn't even heard about that one yet.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'll look it up.
Okay, cool.
There's Amigos box on Newland.
Yeah, it's coming up fairly soon, I think. Now, Carlos, you got the Ashby box, right?
Yeah. I actually have 2 of them.
Oh.
Because all of the tops of my covers were busted, and I asked them to send me new covers, and they just sent me a whole new box set. So,
well, if you want to sell the one with the busted covers, I might talk to you about that.
Okay.
Which box?
Dorothy Ashby.
Oh yeah, I want to get that, but I'll wait.
So I got this. This is that Kevin Gray reissue of Spectrum. Sounds really amazing.
This is incredible, right, Chris?
Yeah, I like it a whole lot. I haven't listened to this one yet. This is another one I got from down there in Austin. Anybody know this record?
No. I keep seeing that.
I paid $4 for it, so
It's just solo piano, right?
I have no idea. Probably. I don't see any personnel listed, so I'm gonna go with yeah. It's 1978, so we'll see. Now this might have been my favorite one that I found.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is such a good record.
Yeah, that is Joe Henderson on there.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is an amazing record.
Yeah.
It's Gomez, Beck, and Joe Henderson, Joanne, fucking killer. Highly recommend it.
But mine doesn't say Peaches in the number 12.
It's number 17, sir.
Oh,
So what I think this is a promo, right? I think this was the store copy from some.
or it was for a stripper named Peaches.
I hope that's what it was, actually.
Millions of pitches for me.
Peaches who strips to jazz.
Yeah.
She's the number 17 stripper at the club. She's
Yeah. Or this is for her 17th song of the night,
Right.
Found this. I know Felipe has this, so I picked it up.
This is
Really good.
amazing. This is amazing.
Where'd you get? Did you get it locally?
Yeah, I got it at End of an Ear down in Austin.
I want
this
Uh,
is
that.
Green Caterpillar.
You can get it on Amazon. It's very cheap.
Yeah.
Really cool.
It's from the French label. Distribution, those guys.
Yeah, it's called.
And who are the +2? Who are the horn players?
No,
let's see.
no.
Peach's husband.
What do you say no about, Felipe? No, what?
Who are the horn players?
Two
Oh,
blind
guitar and
mice,
congas.
yes.
Yeah.
Kasumi Watanabe and Yuji Imamura.
Kazumi Watanabe, Yuji Imamura, Isu Fukui, Masaru Imada. Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon.
I just guessed. I assumed it was horn players, but I was wrong.
Look at these dudes. They look cool, man.
It
What's
is
that,
really
dude?
cool.
Really good record.
I think the name of the label is called the Tre Jazz Club, which
Yeah,
is
it is.
the Tree Jazz Club, and you can find it on Bandcamp, Amazon, everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think the quality of it's pretty good.
Hey, I'm
It
all
sounds
for
amazing.
piano trio plus lap percussion. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So let's make a parenthesis here.
Okay. What are we doing?
Speaking of piano trio, everybody should go Bandcamp and get this record here.
Oh,
What
yeah.
is it?
Is that the
It's a
weekend?
Brazilian. No. It's much better than that. Weekend is not even allowed to sell coffee on a Motown lobby. Okay, it doesn't have this capacity. So this guy's name is Amaro, Amaro Freitas, Fretotas. He's a Brazilian pianist. He came from a really poor region of Brazil, the north. He's like this piano virtuoso. He plays in a trio. This came on Far Out Recordings. This record is killer. It's really, really amazing, and everybody should get this record. I bought from Forced Exposure. You can still get there, or sign up for notifications, or buy from Bandcamp. But what these guys are doing here is something really, really pushing the boundaries of piano trios, and it's a fantastic record. You should get it.
Jeffrey already said I wanted it first, man. Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool. Okay.
Are you done, Felipe?
Yeah. I don't have much anything to show. I don't have boring stuff here. Keep going.
And I got this, of course, which is fucking killer.
I think I'm the only person on here who has not picked that up yet.
You should do that. You should look up
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
It's,
No, you're not.
it's worth.
Okay.
It stands up to all the hype.
Yeah, it
Okay.
really does.
Yes.
I've
It's
only
a
heard
record,
it once.
and I'm really stoked that Jazz Dispensary decided to pull the trigger and take a chance.
But you said the OG. It sounds that there's no huge difference between the OG.
There's not a huge difference between but those contemporaries sound so great.
Yeah,
already.
I have
Yeah.
the OG. I haven't picked that up yet. So.
What
But
else
I mean, they both sound great. I've been playing the new one because it's perfect, and my other one's like VG plus. So
Mine's kind of minty. So, hey, I wanted to show what Chris showed, what I was talking about with those live
Yeah.
events. So this, I have a 70s live of Peps, but if you pick, this is very cheap.
Hey, Nick.
This, the dedication series, whatever Greek number that is. This is both, whatever.
It's Roman
This-
numeral.
So this is two of the sessions. at
it's
Peps.
Greek to Rob.
Yeah, it is. So, and then this came out much later in the 70s. It's called Club Date on Impulse, and this is the rest of the Pep series concert. So
Very cool.
even this isn't that expensive if you want to get the whole Peps. And
Well, OGs aren't that expensive either.
it was, even in the pandemic, an OG of this was going for some dough. But I found this for like $17. But these sound great if you ever picked these.
Mine's a mono. I wonder how much better the stereo sounds are different.
This is
It was released in both. At the original was released in stereo and mono.
yeah. This is stereo.
I love the first track. It's awesome.
Pick Up the Whole Show is kill. I actually think the best of it is on this.
Club date. Is that a club date with Peaches?
Yeah. Actually, Peaches writes the liner notes on this.
Nice.
It says,
Oh,
"Come see me. Bring your
I was
money."
reading them in the coat rack room. Right here.
This,
Me and Zebo were hanging out.
we got to make this happen. What do you think about this idea from Roberto, Rob?
Yeah, I was just reading.
Listen, did you give him his own thread in the Discord?
Hey, Roberto?
He is just like a burgeoning stand-up comedian.
He is.
I still think that you should do waxed headroom videos.
Ooh,
That'd be awesome.
Don't you have the computer skills to do something like that?
Listen, I can barely do all the shit I'm doing now.
Oh yeah. Did you guys already talk about the Joe Henderson box that they're going to be doing?
It's not a Joe Henderson
Well,
box.
that's
The Legacy might be sold out online, but there's
On the post, it said
Copies
one of
all over the
these.
Oh, really? I didn't
Post,
catch
It
that.
said one of these.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
And
Sold
they're
out
probably
where,
going to
Con?
release the ones I have.
probably sold out on the Jazz Dispensary website.
Oh yeah.
I went in there. There was 10 copies at my local shop. So
They got a bunch.
That thing is selling well. They'll keep
It's
pressing
available
it.
right now. On it.
Yeah.
It's
It'll be
available on
pressed.
Amazon. So.
I have no worries
Yeah.
about records being sold out anymore.
Yeah.
They're just going to get pressed to death.
All right.
No, neither.
Yeah.
I'm this close to photoshopping Roberto into a picture with Peaches and sending it to his wife.
Trying to make that comment go.
Okay.
It just keeps coming back. Jesus.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks for joining, Dave.
Hey, how you doing?
Jacksonville. Good. Nice. And so what's up this week? What you get? How things are going in your channel?
Listen, I sit here and I watch you guys talking about these, to me, rather obscure jazz artists, and I'm not as big a jazz collector as obviously as you guys, who could talk for hours about these particular artists from from the past and present and all that. But I did pick up a couple jazz titles this week, and this is I find this to be quite jazzy. I got this yesterday. This is Bill Bruford and Patrick Moraz.
Hold on,
Oh,
let
yeah.
me make it. I'll make it big here. Let me figure
Piano and
Drums.
drums. And they were
Just
both in
piano
the
and
band.
drums?
Just piano and drums.
Cool.
And it's pretty jazzy. It's from '83. And Moraz was in Yes for a few years, and so was Bruford.
Mm-hmm.
And Bruford played in King Crimson for a while. And Bruford never can stick to one band. He was always doing different stuff. But it's pretty good. I got it for $5. And
So that would have been the same time as the second King Crimson, like the Adrian Belew King Crimson would have been playing then.
yeah, early '80s. Yeah. But
Which is
I
my
recommend,
favorite.
check this out. It's actually very good. And you don't really miss. I don't feel like I'm missing out on a bass or a guitar or anything. It's pretty much those two guys can make a lot of music together. It's kind of a cool record. And for $5, I took a flyer on. I think I might have streamed it once a long time ago, and I saw it in a local store, and I picked it up. I said, "I'll buy it if it's $5." And the guy goes, "Okay."
I vaguely remember that from the King Crimson, because I got all the King Crimson records, and I remember seeing that when it came out.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of remembered. I had Gradually Going Tornado. Remember that one? That album?
That
That was
But
Bruford solo album.
Bruford was doing he was always doing other projects.
Yeah. Well, here's a real jazz record.
I like that record.
Oh,
Very
that's a
good.
good one.
I got that for $8.
Yeah.
That's pretty
CTI is
clean.
still cheap. Is it the gatefold or the?
Yeah.
Yeah, CTIs are still, for the most part,
CTI, yeah, 72.
for the most part, they're inexpensive. For the most part,
It's a gatefold, but it's kind of stuck together. I just realized that. I don't want to rip it apart. It looks like somebody put some gum in it or something. I don't know, but anyway, it's good. It's good record. I played it once. You know, I usually thoroughly clean my albums. I have like very elaborate 4-step process for cleaning albums. And I usually I can't resist. I got to play them at least once to see if they're okay, they're listenable. You know, they're not warped. So I usually play them once or twice, and then I put them away until I clean them. I don't know if you guys do that.
no, I usually. It depends. If it looks dirty, I clean it before I even play it.
And I picked up not exactly jazz, but here's a Fairport Convention album that I don't own. It's called Rising for the Moon. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Fairport Convention, but they're one of my favorite.
I've heard them.
One of my favorite. They were kind of folky, British. Sandy Denny is a very famous singer. She's the only singer that Led Zeppelin ever had on an album. She sings on Battle for Evermore, I think.
Battle for Evermore, yeah.
That's her right there. That's her last album. She died young. I think she died in her 30s. She has a drinking problem. I think she fell down some stairs and fatally injured herself. But that's actually a good album. But Richard Thompson was in this band, and
oh right, that's right.
And, but he's not on this one. He just left before this album was made. But it's a good album.
It's like all acoustic guitar, right?
No, there's some electric. No, there's electric on it. Yeah. Now, this is not jazz at all, but this is an original.
Nice.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
An original, and it wasn't too bad. For $25 in 81.
That's pretty good.
Mastered by Alan Krantz, what's his name? Zentz.
Randy Rhoads.
A little rough around the right edge. It looks like the guy previous owner taped the inner sleeve there. But I rarely see this. It's not too bad. So I listened to it and it's pretty clean.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a great record.
This one, I bought this when it came out. Very clean copy of this.
Sad.
$20. I thought it was a good deal. It's a good album. Her first album.
That is a good album.
Yeah.
Record.
The second album was the big I Don't Want What I Already Have, whatever it's called. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with I lived in England for 9 years, and Dr. Feelgood was a very popular, they called it pub rock back in the 70s. They're really kind of rock band, kind of back to basics. I don't know. Anybody familiar with them? What they would be equivalent in this country to? I don't know. They had a really good guitar player called Wilco Johnson, and he just died earlier this year, I think. But this is a live album called On the Job, and it's kind of they're not really well known in this country, but in England, everyone knows who Dr. Feelgood is. I've got their debut album from about 72. This is from early 80s. One of their last albums they put out on the Liberty label.
Nice.
I just got this yesterday.
Awesome.
This is a 1990 reissue, I believe. It's got a little bit of wear on the cover here, but the vinyl is filthy dirty, like it was in a sandstorm. But it doesn't look scratched. It just needs a good cleaning. But one of their, it's a good album. It's not hi-fi, that's for sure.
No, it's trebly.
But
trebly
it's good music. It's good music. Good music.
What's Does that have Sorry? Is that the hit?
This says I apologize.
Oh, that's it.
Whoa.
I apologize.
I apologize. Sorry. It means the same thing, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to remember what the hit on that one was.
Yeah. I mean, hit, right?
Yeah.
It was a hit. I mean, it was
College
on
radio, maybe
it was on
college.
the college radio and K Rock.
Yeah.
John Martin is a guy I really started getting into in the last year or so. A British singer-songwriter. Drank a lot. Well, and I believe he was Scottish. And this is sort of like a best of kind of thing called So Far So Good. I apparently saw him live. You ever do this? You think about, I was at a music festival in the mid 90s and I wonder, let me go, you can look up the set list and who you could, go, it was in London and Finsbury Park and it was it's called the Fleet Festival, kind of Celtic rock, and Van Morrison was there, Sinead O'Connor was there. And I remember them and a band that I used to do a lot of work, artwork for a band in England called the Beautiful South.
I love Beautiful South. It's a great band.
And I got free tickets. They were one of the headliners there because they were really big that year. It was about 95.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at the roster and he played.
Huh.
And I was like, I have no memory of him playing. Maybe I was having a drink back in I got to go to the VIP tent because I knew the band. So I was hanging out in the VIP tent. But I must have missed him, but he's great. He really is great. He kind of has a very unique singing style, great guitar player. Really, I don't know if you're familiar with his stuff. Here's another one of his albums.
Solid Air is amazing.
Solid Air. Here's another one. Oh, it's upside down. Sorry.
He did a record with Lee Perry too.
Yeah. There's another one of his albums.
He lost his foot.
Later on, yeah.
From drinking?
No.
Probably diabetes or something.
And a cooking accident.
Yeah.
But check out, if you're not familiar with John Martin, I think he's a very cool artist.
Did he play any instruments?
He made records with his wife too, or his
Yeah,
sister?
he had a wife. What was her name?
It was like John
Barbara
and Barbara Martin or something.
Yeah. Yeah, they have made a few albums together. Yeah, he was married a few times, as people like him are. He might have been married 3 or 4 times. But John Martin is a very cool artist. He was signed by Island. He was, the whole Nick Drake stuff. He was around, with Nick Drake and Richard Thompson and Fairport Convention and the whole Island record deal. He was with Island Records. This one's on Island. The Black Island label.
And that's what, late 70s?
Early 80s. No, this is I think this is early mid 70s.
Her name was Beverly.
He made records up until the 80s, I think, maybe into the early 90s. I think he died in early 2000s, maybe.
He abused
Be on the Jazz Barnes live stream. Do not support that. So.
If you go on YouTube and look up John Martin, there's a big, long, kind of extended kind of documentary interview with the guy. Yeah, he was a bit of a mess. And he had no foot in that video, too. So.
Did he keep it after he lost it?
Was he like standing up on balance through the interview?
I think he used it to hold his guitar up, the guitar stand.
He used it as a paperweight.
He used to hold the picks between the toes.
Oh, man. Yes. This is what
All right. Madness.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
This was like a American compilation that capitalized on their Our House.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't there like 2 versions?
No,
is there 2 versions of Our House on that?
No, it's just the one.
7.
There's an extended version of the song, right?
Oh, I gotta look.
It's like long. It's a long extended.
Yeah, it's like
not on this one. No, this is called. What's this one called? It's just called Madness, or Pure Madness. What is it called? Madness. Just called It's on Geffen.
This is becoming maddening.
Maybe it's becoming mad. It just says madness on it. I don't know. I picked this up in Ocala, Florida. At a record store called Oasis Vinyl, which is a surprisingly good record store.
Was it their first album where they're all standing behind each other?
Yeah, I was disappointed that One Step Beyond, right? One Step Beyond was on that, and I'm disappointed that is not on this album.
Hey, you crazy man!
Don't watch that.
Hey, you.
Sis. Get
Now-
down to the funky beat of the.
A lot of people disparage this album as a bad record, but
No, what is?
It has a couple good tracks.
it does. Ain't Love Grand by
It has,
X.
doesn't it have 4th of July? Oh no, that's on.
No.
Burning House of Love.
Burning House of Love, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great album. All their albums are good. I don't
But
care.
people
what
don't like it because they hired, what's his name?
Who?
Different producer.
Well, hey,
Yeah, they're not like
you can't
a
go
pop-
wrong when your guitar player's named Billy Zoom.
Steve Lillywhite or something like that.
No,
They got some.
Was it Illocution?
And Exim Krzyvenko, what's her name?
Cervenka.
Cervenka. And I'm always the John Doe is a great actor.
oh,
too.
Michael Wagner, who did a lot of heavy rock. They got like a rock producer to make this album, so it has that kind of generic 80s rock sound.
I think with that album was the record company's attempt to make it more poppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of
They had
people,
hits. It was the
people
song.
wanted Ray Manzarek to reproduce them again, but
Yeah.
And
Is it on Sire? What label is it on?
that is on. I haven't watched it yet, so I don't have it in the outside sleeve.
Or weren't they on Slash for a moment?
They were on Slash, and it's on Elektra,
Elektra.
same as the Doors, right?
They were on Slash. I don't know if their first was Los Angeles on Slash.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And here's a kind of a jazzy Alan Holdsworth album
Oh, cool.
called Velvet Darkness. Now, this was I don't know if you know the story behind this one. He went to a studio and this is an event. It's on CTI.
Oh yeah.
And
Good
I think
band.
he recorded it
Band.
with maybe somebody, and it's not a great recording. And he just jammed and recorded for a while, and he didn't want to. And the record company released it without his permission.
Oh,
It's
wow.
not great, but I saw it, and it was it $12? And
You're really selling this one, man.
Yeah. Doesn't he have a pretty good band on it though?
I've only listened to it once. I gotta listen to it again. I think so. I gotta look it up.
I think it might have does that have Richard Davis on it?
It was definitely recorded before 2001, I think.
Yeah. Let me see who plays on it. Let me see.
Yeah, University on vinyl. You're right. Yeah, Eddie Van Halen was a huge fan of Holsworth.
Recorded Van Gilder Studios.
Cool.
1976. Alan Pasqua, Alphonse Johnson, and Narada on drums.
But it sucks.
Yeah. It's not. It's okay. The sound is a little iffy.
Yeah.
But do you guys ever talk about CDs, or is this vinyl only?
We can talk about CDs.
Well, I was in Ocala, and I went to this record store inside used to be like an old supermarket, and it was divided up into stalls. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there was a record one in there, and the records were kind of shitty. But I said, and they had a whole bunch of CDs stacked up against the wall. I said, how much are the CDs? Oh, $1 each.
Nice.
So I started going through them. Do you know Cassandra Wilson?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good album.
Artist.
Belly of the Sun. That's a good album for $1.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a Nora Jones with, I'm in a dark room here, with the Peter Malik group, kind of jazz album. That's good. It's good. Here's the Cure show. They just came out
Oh, nice.
on record for $1.
Good one for $1. Oh, yeah.
Black Sabbath Sabotage for $1.
Nice.
The Cure.
That's where they got what's his name? That's where they figured out the neighbor for. Never mind.
No. I read Ozzy's book, and they made fun of what they were wearing, and Ozzy was wearing a very strange outfit. And,
Aqua Teen. It's like the neighbor in Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah.
It looks like you're a giant and you're holding small albums.
Yeah.
Here's a Cure.
3-inch records.
Yeah. You know Sean Colvin at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
somebody was a big Sean Colvin album and dumped their collection, so I got a whole mess of them.
She's good.
Yeah, it's real good.
I think she, like at that time there were so many singer-songwriter. She kind of fell behind, like what's her face, Luca.
Yeah, she fell behind Suzanne
Vega.
Behind Vega.
Yeah, and Sheryl Crow, and
actually, she's from DC. I'm from DC. Yeah. Sean Calvin.
Yes,
I believe she's from DC.
Incubus, not a huge fan for $1. I'll give it a shot.
Incubus, great.
They put on a good live show.
Here's a Scottish band, Texas, that were huge all over the world except in this country. Sold millions and millions and millions of albums. There's one hit, hit song. The one hit song.
Listen, Roberto, stay in your LP comedy stylings. Don't venture into CD comedy.
Yeah, you have to grow into that one.
Yeah. Say What You Want is the big hit from this one. Scottish band. Another Sean Colvin.
Brooke loves Incubus.
Fat City is this one?
Wasn't the brothers that were in two different bands? One's Incubus and one's Hoobastank, or am I wrong about that?
I have no idea.
Oh, I never heard that.
There were two brothers in two bands at the same time.
Doesn't a Hoobastank, don't they play like a Chapman stick? Doesn't the bass player play a Chapman?
Does he really?
Like Tony Levin?
Yeah, that's impressive.
Like Tony Levin.
Yeah.
Tony Levin's a badass.
You guys like Moby?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The very best.
Double CD.
Nice.
Lana Del Rey.
We killed Rob. Oh, that's a great one. For $1, you could probably sell that for $10.
What's her face?
Oh, Florence and the Machine.
Florence and the Machine. Oh. Lourd.
It's a good record. Good album.
It reminds me of the good old days of Columbia House.
This is a really good Joni record album, Joni Mitchell album.
Mm-hmm.
Tiger, what's it called? Taming the Tiger?
I miss Columbia.
Terrific album. I'm shocked how good this is from the early 90s.
Chad should start a Columbia House with Analog Productions. I'll totally pay him the extra pay.
Yeah. Regular club prices.
Hey,
Jazz, look, Jazz.
Ooh, that's cool.
And not to interrupt you, Dave, but did anyone see the announcement today where Rhino has a little $100 thing? Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
No, what's that?
That tells us absolutely nothing. It's $100.
I asked a question, Chris. There was a question mark on the end of what I said.
Searching out $100 thing.
No clue. No clue, Rob. Please,
I googled $100 thing and I got something completely different.
I'm looking it up now.
Anyway, so I think I did pretty well at that record store because I wanted to buy something, but they didn't have any vinyl I liked, so I just bought the CD.
That's awesome.
Hey, while we're transitioning there, Shoji Productions was asking before if anybody had heard about or was talking about the announcement about the complete, what is it, Jazz at Mazzy Hall, the greatest concert ever, or whatever. What is it called? Greatest concert ever? Yeah.
But doesn't everyone have that twofer, which is most of it?
I've got like a 10-inch box set of a few of the.
There's the twofer that half of it is Bud Powell Trio and the other half is Mingus. Isn't it just a little bit more of what that twofer is?
Is that the same thing you sent me, Rob?
Yeah. I think it's I have a copy of it too. It's not
was that the one that was a show like at Columbia for a party and they were just
it was a show at Mazzy Hall in Toronto.
I think it was something
like a big photo in the front, right?
Yeah, like one of the most well-known concerts, jazz concerts.
Yeah, they call it like the best jazz concert ever, or something like that.
Huh.
So is there more material that hasn't been released before, or is it?
I'm guessing it is.
No way it hasn't been released before, though, right?
Like it must have been by now.
Maybe on CD.
Yeah. That's interesting though. It didn't sound the greatest though, right?
No.
I mean, not that matters necessarily, but if I'm going to spend $80-$100 on the 3 LP record and I already have 2 of the records,
It's the lineup that is just it's a killer lineup, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So here's what they're doing. They're celebrating the 70s with 70s albums, and you pick a bundle for $99.
How many?
You get a 7-inch. This is the stupidest bundle ever.
Let me make it big.
So should we even talk about it?
So they all come with
The Doobies.
45s, but for all you people who like your Doobies, your Ramones, your Chicago, and your Todd Rundgren,
yeah,
that's a bundle made in heaven, right?
So
On Red
Rob,
Line
I think the worst part of this thing is putting the Ramones next to these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not the
It's really
demographic
bad.
it's going for.
Yeah.
They're going for
kids.
kids that want to get their collection up. You know,
Ooh.
force
defer to
someone to get a
last.
Ramones record, then it's fine.
So Lastman says that twofer is a majority of it.
Yeah.
Is
But
that-
those
I'm-
4 records, I don't remember exactly what those were, but most of those records you can find for $5, right?
that twofer is under $10 on average.
I'm talking about the record you just showed in that bundle.
You can't find the Ramones for,
No,
No,
but
I
you
see
can
those
find
records all
the
the time.
Doobies in the
pretty
Chicago.
decent.
And
No,
the-
because they did that they did those albums recently, right? Rhino, didn't they just release those both?
I think they're doing some
Yeah.
sort of. It's also there's an '80s bundle too. They're doing those $99 ones on Red Vinyl special.
Yeah.
Hey, can I go show you those the big finds I got on Saturday?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay, so I found this mono OG of Sweet Honeybee. I have a '90s one that I'll put in one of my auctions that we did a video of that Joe Harley came into in the Peanut
When-
Gallery.
When we
Or-
thought he was stunty, is that the time?
Where I thought he was stunty. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good one.
That was a fun time.
So this is a sweet, beautiful copy. Van Gelder. It came out as a Liberty, I believe.
Is there never a New York copy of that?
No, it came out as a Liberty, I believe. Or
Yeah.
That's a
yeah.
Liberty. That's 4200.
Yeah.
Liberty.
I need to get that record. I don't have it.
It's not New
well,
York.
I have a '90s one that I'm getting rid of. So
My
That's that's a Wally, right, Rob?
it's a Wally digital, but it sounds awesome. And
Oh, yeah.
it's not like this is the best record ever, but there's some stuff on here that's killer. The lineup, and I posted it, and Joe commented, "Hold that precious. It'll never be put
Oh, yeah.
out." He said something like that. You can go to my Instagram.
Yeah.
But this
Oh, is
a
that the
killer-
one? Is that the one that the tapes are gone?
Yes.
On this one, the tape isn't gone. It is seized up. Like
Oh, they just
they can't run the
Yeah.
tape.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But this
So-
is a killer
so-
lineup, and I'd say there's some killer songs on here.
Yeah.
Really, is
It's a good record.
It's a good
So
record.
Rob, have you heard back to back the Stereo and the Mono?
I'm biased. When I find a really good mono copy, somehow magically sounds beautiful to me. This does. It's crunchy and nice. And then at the same, so here's if you watch my video or don't like
Wait a
me,
minute. What year did that come out, though?
67. I think.
67.
So those are a fold
67,
down.
68,
Mono's a fold down from the stereo, probably.
I don't know. I think Van Gelder recorded in both, right?
No, he only did that for like a year and a half.
No.
For a
two,
short period of time, it did.
And anything from after 60s all Stereo, then he would just fall down.
So I went. So the Roxy is celebrating their 50th anniversary. They're doing all these concerts and different things. So they decided to have a small little record fair market. They invited some of the bigger record stores there, and Record Safari had the best shit. That's where I found this. But
Nice.
if you know Michael Poche on Plastic, his favorite record store in LA is Boogie Maru. They carry they're specialized in Japanese pressings of all stuff. But so they were there with this one. And
nice.
this is the other one. I didn't realize there's another Grant Green that only was issued in Japan.
Gooden's Corner.
was only-
Gooden's Corner.
Yeah, this was only issued in Japan in 1980. And Joe said, I think with his Mazzy interview, this is lost. The tape is
Yeah.
gone. So this is, I think there are 3 or 4 Japanese pressings of it, maybe 2, and this is the only analog version you can get of this. This is a Mink edition. This sounds beautiful.
Awesome.
It's a Warhol cover too, right?
Yeah.
Nice find.
No, it's not.
No. Well,
It's this guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
it's a Japanese guy because it was made in Japan.
So of the most of the best sounding Japanese pressings from
Nice
that
lineup.
time are the Kings, and most of those Japanese only are
Yeah.
King pressings, and that's a King.
yeah,
Brandon. So Gooden's Corner is only a King, and a really bad Music Matters, really crappy.
Oh,
really?
yeah.
They made a Music Matters of it,
Yes,
45,
Gooden's Corner,
right?
Yes. Yes.
and it doesn't sound good.
Oh no, it's terrible, Rob. You don't want to hear that.
So here's some of,
did yours come with the
no Obi strip.
no the what inner sleeve?
Oh, let me.
Original inner sleeve.
You have it too.
Nice.
Mine came with this.
What is that?
That's the Japanese.
Yeah.
I have the same one.
That's the wrong record. He was talking about the Sweet Honeybee.
The Sweet Honeybee.
Oh, yeah. I'll show you.
It's pretty cool. It says 27 years Blue Note on it.
Yes, it has it.
I was hoping it didn't, so that Carlos could flex on you a little bit. But
Mine's ripped.
oh, well, there you go.
But I'll show you a few other things I picked up. That to me, these are great records. They sound great, but this is the best thing I found that day.
Oh, nice. It's a great record.
This thing sounds amazing. Just sounds killer. And it's mono. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's one of the coolest
They
versions
could do
around.
that on the OJC series. That'd be cool.
So I have a stack of records I'm sending to Chris, and I picked up an American OG of this, Flying Dutchman. This is a French issue or pressing. This is great. If you, I think you hold it like that. That's the proper cover.
Yeah.
That's another gata. I did pick this up today. This is one of those late 70s Van Gelder remastered of Savoy titles. And these are
cool.
2 Yusef Lateef records that are astronomically high. So if you find this twofer,
Does that have the live at? Is that the live at
No, those are 2.
Cranberry?
this is live at Pipstein's, the other club.
Is that like the prayer one? Something like Talk to the Prayer or like?
Yeah. And it's recorded in 57. It is Yusef Lateef, Wilbur Hardin, Hugh Lawson,
Those
Ernie
are
Farrow, Oliver Jackson. But Van Gelder did these.
I was thinking of live at Cranbrook, not Cranberry.
No. These aren't. I don't think these are live albums. But if you get these are always great sounding. So
Yeah, I found one of those.
Oh, I love that record.
Do you know this record?
But now, hold on, Bill. I'm making you big. Let me make.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to go in while you're going, but it's Bill Barron and Booker Irvin, The Hotline.
Cool.
Same kind of series. It's like, it's like a $200 record, and this is the next best. They didn't press it for 25 years.
Yeah.
And it sounds amazing. It's got
Kenny Van Gelder and the Deadwax, right?
Yeah, and it's got Andy Cyril, not Andrew, Kenny Barron, and Larry Ridley, the bassist. Like, this lineup is just out of control.
What do you have that price, man?
The original is called Modern Windows.
You got to come to the store to find out.
Come to the store.
That means expensive.
I put $30 on it just because I don't want to sell it yet, but I think that's pretty fair.
The comedy stylings of Roberto. Thank you. Live at Peaches.
Live at Peaches, yeah.
So other one I found this week is this late 60s.
It's a great record.
It is. I have OJC I'll throw into my auction, but this is awesome.
I'll take the OJC.
I don't know why I don't know why Chad didn't do this one as part of the.
So good. That's one of the better Gene Ammons records.
Yeah,
Yes, it's a really good one.
Again, I also have an OJC of this. So this was originally the Steve Lacy,
Yeah.
where he's kind of sitting weird with the saxophone.
That's the Status, right?
Yeah, but this is such a better cover.
That's a great
Yeah, but
cover.
how does the Status sound?
This sounds amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
A record store owner told me if you could spot it's recycled, there are little specks in the dead wax you could see.
Ah.
This doesn't have that, and this sounds awesome. And it's mono. I don't think there was a stereo made of this. So this, if you can find this, kill it.
I have a Status that does not sound good at all.
Yeah, there's a bunch that don't sound good, but it's like,
I have some but this sounds really good.
yeah, you get lucky, and it sounds just like fireworks.
So has anyone experienced this? I think since a lot of copies of this don't really exist or were sold on Discogs, I bought this for $12. It's kind of kept the price down on records. This record should cost a lot more than $12. So really good.
I'll give you $8 for it right now, man.
You can suck. I have an OJC. Do you want the OJC?
Yeah, of course.
All right, I'll put it in your stack.
Thank you.
Where's my stack?
You can't. Well, he's paying for the stack.
I'm joking.
But if you want to, the Byrd, I'll put aside for you.
I'll ping you after.
Yes, please. So this is excellent. This is the modern one, and I was kind of sour on these modern ones because they're dirty, and I couldn't get one I bought clean. But I picked up a couple more, and they're perfectly fine.
Damn it! So you've been shitting on those for 6 months, and they're okay?
Only because you've been buying them.
I haven't been buying them yet.
Okay, I'm going to let you in on a secret. I don't know how many people know, but Universal Germany was quietly reissuing a bunch of Impulse titles.
Yes.
And for some reason, I guess Universal of the U.S. are starting to distribute them here. That's how I'm guessing. I picked this up. These are pressed at Palace.
Are you serious?
Yes. And I would say these are the pressings are better than the Verb by Request because they're pressed at Palace. But they're on par with the sound quality. This is really good. The vinyl is beautiful, and the labels are kind of the kind that are pressed into it. They kind of have the texture to it. The covers suck.
Who cut it?
Some German dude. I don't know who that guy is, but
is it digital?
I would assume they're digital.
Yeah,
but I don't know. They're not saying.
I'm good. Who gives a shit, right?
So last year, I think 3 came out. One I want to try and get is Pharoah Sanders. I'll find the title. But the ones you can get in the U.S. now, and I think Mike Notes and Tones is a Marion Brown Vista. And then there's a Michael White album with a yellow cover.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 that are available now. In fact, they have them on UDiscover. You can buy them through UDiscover, $35, at least for this.
35.
This is an outstanding record, by the way.
$35 is kind of steep if it's shitty. If it's a shitty cover.
No, but it's a great. I mean, that's how much the Verb by Request. What are those? $29.
45.
29.
Listen, they're sending them from Germany. This is good.
Okay.
All right. One more I'll show, and this is an excellent album. It's kind of a blaxploitation looking cover. Does anyone know
that's a weird cover?
Yeah, that's
know?
Is that Little Jimmy Scott?
No, that's Herbie Nichols, and that's Monk, and they're
Oh, yeah,
burning
you're gonna
Monk out. This is on Soul Note.
I want to get a tattoo.
I was an illustrator.
Get a tattoo.
I can see this on your back, Chris.
On your butt,
on your neck,
on your crack.
So this is. Yeah. I don't think enough people praise Roswell Rudd. I think he's great.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah.
I was an illustrator for 20 years. And when it comes to artwork like that, I was commissioned numerous times to do that. And that was somebody, art director, or somebody at the record company says, this is what we want. We want 2 guys and they're burning. And that's what too many.
But what are they thinking? That
What
they are,
the hell are they saying they were condemned?
What's the title of the album? What's the title?
This is like a low budget movie that came out on VHS in the 80s.
Regeneration.
Yeah,
Are they regenerating?
Is there a leprechaun?
Oh, they're like the phoenixes. Okay.
I like the Phoenix
That's
coming
so
back
terrible.
from the
All right,
flame.
but so half of the record they're covering Herbie Nichols, the other half is Monk. This is excellent. This is really more avant-garde-ish take on both of them, but killer. This is a really good album. I don't know these other guys, if other people know them, but it's a great record. But
Anyway,
if I get the back tattoo of those.
How many of you guys are fans of Michael Fremer?
I don't know.
Does he have a back tattoo? I can see this on his gaff.
Oh my god.
hey, I'm going to show this. This is the Billy was showing. This is the original of that Bill Barron.
Oh,
Right.
sick.
This is one of my favorite records, and I'm pretty stoked.
It's
I
so
paid more
fun.
than $1.49 for it, but I don't think I paid more than $100 for it.
Oh yeah, it's past that.
Yeah, I think it's like $200 now.
Yeah.
This one's super clean too.
This
Very
is
classy.
But this is
Classy.
a record that you would not expect to come out in like 1961.
No, they're on. Yeah.
It's super modern for the time. It's like
Yeah.
early post bop, way early post bop, and it's really good.
His
So
records,
get that one.
are
That,
expensive.
what?
His old records are expensive. His
Yeah,
Bill
just get that Savoy reissue that Billy showed because this record's definitely worth getting. It's fantastic.
All right, start the countdown. I think we got bids. Let's do.
Where's Nick at? He'll give you $3 for it.
Hey, Billy, let's talk
Yeah.
about your store. So
Oh,
people-
Yeah, hey Billy, I actually had a question for you.
Yeah, let's go.
You went live the other day on Instagram. I saw you guys.
Yeah.
You had some young guys in there playing. caught them playing
They're playing Maiden Voyage.
Maiden Voyage. Yeah, that was cool. I don't know if you saw me on there. I was trying to ping you, but I was watching.
yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. That was incredible. Yeah, this is artist named Telemachus. You can look up his record, The New Heritage. It came out in 2021. He's like 20 years old. He lives in like UC. He goes to UC Davis, I think. He's like an Indian musician, but he's like very influenced by like the Domi and JD kind of thing, but like Herbie Hancock, George Duke, kind of the fusion sound. But yeah, the record and the art on the record is really good. It came out on a German label, sold out really quick. I've been friendly with him as a pen pal since that record came out, and he actually something happened to him during pandemic, and he like lost the ability to use his hands.
Oh wow.
So he had to write his next record with his feet, and he had to reteach himself how to play piano. And he's got these like metal things all over his fingers now, and he's gone through this like rehab process of like relearning piano. It's really remarkable. But yeah, everyone loved that show except for my neighbor who lives right behind me, because I thought the drummer was going to use brushes, but he was like straight up like breakbeat drumming. It was so loud in this little shop.
Oh,
So I kind of got to watch that a little bit, but that was really fun.
That's a good album. I just
Yeah, you guys should check it out. I actually heard about it the first time on the New York Times Jazz and Pop podcast. It was like one of the last records that they recommended at the very end of it in 2021, and it just kind of like I kind of got intrigued by it, and then I just kind of listened to it walking around the city a bunch of times, and I was like, wow, this is good.
Hey, lastly, I
I
want
just found that too.
to. So Mike Notes and Tones has been boasting, and
Look at that lineup. That lineup's awesome.
I'm from DC, and I didn't know Buck Hill was a mailman sax player in DC. Used to play with people, and I think in the early '80s, 70s, he recorded like 2 albums for
2 albums,
Steve
yeah.
Chase. This is excellent. So if we could sell out a record tonight,
Yeah,
get the record.
do it. I just got it
And
too.
it's a $10. It's a $10 record.
Not after
For
this
now.
episode.
For now.
Well, it was. It was.
But this is excellent,
Dude,
and
look at the lineup.
yeah, just killer. I think he did 2 with this lineup. Steeplechase did.
I'm trying to remember that one. Does Kenny Barron play acoustic piano or Rhodes?
No, it's piano.
Just acoustic piano.
I think so. Yeah.
Just piano.
One of the kids that was at the show, a bunch of young like jazz students came, and he was telling me that Buster Williams is his teacher at like the new school or something.
Yeah,
and, like Reggie Workman teaches there too, and there was another crazy one. I was like, damn, I gotta come by and say what's up, and I want to see if they got records at home. Go see, like fucking George Benson's record collection part 2. What'd you say?
You're gonna try and kill him and take the record?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and kill Workman. He's
strangle him with a bass string.
I'm gonna trip him with John Martin's other foot.
Dude, reenact the scene from the Cable Guy in the bathroom. Salt and peanuts. Salt and peanuts.
Salt peanuts. There you go.
Salt peanuts.
Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy to think that some of these people are still alive and they're just like, just hanging out,
Yeah. There's not a cheap copy of that Buck Hill record on this.
I said it in my video. So one really nice store has a great jazz section in LA. It's called Deadly Wax, and I've become friendly with the owner. And he's always very nice when he sees me. Hey, Rob, he's got a very bright personality. If you watch my video, that's him waving. And I said to him, look, I hope you brought that Buck Hill record. And he goes, no, I don't think I brought it. And I went through his bin and I go, you got it. So it was meant to be.
It's a sweet story, Rob.
I've never heard that.
That was so nice.
I get along with people,
Yeah, I used to buy from him. He's a LP guru on Instagram.
Apparently, he used to work for the scumbag guy, who elevates high record prices, or finds the best sounding record.
Tom
better records.
Scumbag? Really?
Yeah. And Jim from Record Collector News has a bunch of them, and I pull them out, and I can't believe people are paying this much for those records because they have fine lines in them and they look like VG copies to me. And then he plays them, and I go, "Really?"
Yeah.
It's like denim. It's like Biggie Levi's.
In Russia, we could go buy. It's buying Levi's in Russia.
You get that Chicago record from the Kraft bundle. You just $700. You can get a nice copy of the records.
I heard an interview with him. I heard an interview with that guy a few months ago.
Yeah, he went nuts.
I actually found him rather entertaining.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's good at speaking.
He's got lots to say. He's got lots to say.
What stream was he on? Was it with Frimmer or something?
Oh, I think he was on Steve Westman's.
Oh, Steve Westman, yes.
Yeah,
was it Steve Westman? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He did a lengthy interview with somebody and gave out with his wife or something in the background yelling.
Yeah, his wife was telling him what to say and shit. It was really weird.
He hates
under duress or something,
Tell him about the Harry Moss cut.
Yeah. No shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think his deal is if he can make things controversial, maybe it looks better for him.
Oh, it came after that Post article. Because he got ripped in the Post article, and then he had to come back and defend himself.
Yeah. It was with that reporter and all.
Yeah, it was with that.
Jeff,
Four Corners.
Jeff.
It was him. Yeah, and
Yeah. Hey, Chris, did you cut your hair, Chris?
No, I just have it.
Okay.
No.
For a second, I thought you cut all your hair off.
So
no.
Yeah.
Hold on. I think.
Okay, hang on.
Felipe's ordering.
He's already riled up. Let him talk. What's up, buddy?
Yeah.
No. Felipe's ordering medical supplies. Listen.
Yeah, I'm getting new scalpels here. Okay.
All right.
Scalpels for the scalper. I'm gonna supply you some, Rob. Okay.
Hey,
yeah.
Can you when you're working on my teeth? Can you go? Is it safe?
Yeah, no, it should be fine. Yeah, it should be fine.
You guys already discussed.
Sanacon Sender are good. But I just wanted to hear from, since we're into the subject, and Dave just asked a couple of minutes ago, I think Dave just put out a video on his channel, which is really good. I highly recommend.
Well, I haven't put it out yet. I'm going to put it out probably tomorrow, maybe Sunday. I put it on my Patreon first for a few days. But yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, Dave has a great hi-fi channel. I really like to watch his videos. It's really informative, and you guys should follow. And if you want to say what you're going to talk about, Dave, feel free to.
Yeah. I just want to say, we all pretty much know who Michael Fremer is, right?
Yeah.
And he's an outspoken guy. He's been around a long time. He's done a lot of different stuff. He's written for good publications and stuff. But, he was on Analog Planet for a long time. And he had a pretty good following there. But then he left. And then he started his own channel called Tracking Angle. You guys familiar with that?
Yep.
Yep.
I've seen it before.
And I follow his channel. Some of his videos can get a little on the long side. But he doesn't, anyway. So of late, over the last few months, he's mentioned it a few times. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but he rags on other YouTubers quite a lot. And he says, they're not professional. They're not experienced enough. Who are they to be commenting on this stuff? Because they just started their channel a couple of years ago or a few months ago. And I think his channel hasn't really, I got the same amount of subscribers as he does right now.
Nice.
And he mentioned it again in a recent video he did on record cleaning, just a couple, last week, was it? This past week, where he talks about cavitation and all that stuff. And in the middle of it, he mentions, maybe a minute in, he starts ragging on YouTubers again that aren't, bona fide or legit, and who are they to comment on vinyl records, because and I just had enough. So I decided to make a video, and I joked around that I ripped him a new one, but I didn't really rip him a new one. But I gently poked at him and ribbed him and defended us YouTubers who we might not have as much years of experience and knowledge as he does, but if we make entertaining, informative, and passionate or engaging videos, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to have 5 months, 5 years, or 5 decades of experience to be able to make a video and be popular. But he seems to think it's not right. And I don't know if any of you have seen his comments or heard those comments that he's put out there.
I don't really watch Fremer stuff that much anymore. But it sounds like some weird boomer bullshit. YouTube is for people.
I think Rob should go after it.
I'm a boomer.
I think you're giving him a little more power than he deserves, Dave.
No one's watching him. Yeah.
I feel.
Yes, please silence your phones, everyone. Nobody hears me.
I did. Come on, man.
I feel he is a curmudgeon. That's his shtick. That's what he does.
Records, always with the records.
Yeah, I think he's slightly out of step.
Yeah.
He is not. He doesn't get that maybe vinyl YouTubers are part of with the VC. It's more about a sort of community thing, I think. And so when we're talking about records, or maybe, I don't know, whatever you said he was doing as an attack, he doesn't get it, because he doesn't participate in any of this.
No.
So, and I think a majority of his audience are not these people.
I have a feeling, though, that he might show up in the next 15 minutes to yell at all of us.
There's quite a few, for better or for worse, there's quite a few YouTubers that are sort of come from a professional area, and they're a little out of touch. And it's you can't teach being in touch. It's just not going to happen. So,
I would say that
he's going to stay out of touch.
A brutal narcissist too. I feel like he gets really insecure and attacks, and it feels like he's the one who kind of carried the flame for vinyl, and has resentment towards everyone who's enjoying it now. It's a really a weird sort of ironic twist that isn't sort of up here with us, trying to kind of be a part of a community that he was so influential and like, you know, making happen.
Yeah, I mean he's a bit of a narcissist, which is not uncommon, and he's a little bit bitter that the times are changing, and that's just kind of normal. I mean,
Yeah.
it happens to everybody. So
I would say he is an expert, you know, and we do have to give him credit in that.
Yeah.
He is one of the experts, but
he's
yeah,
a little angry, but he knows what he's talking about.
yeah, he knows what he's talking about, and I think, you know, that's his crowd. So he's with the old guard, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he has
but-
to keep
yeah, but-
them.
I mean,
I
his
think
bona
there's a
fides, right? His bona fides
there's-
are impeccable.
Yeah.
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 I love some of the
No, but
videos
you- but
he
you
shows
know-
me stories about records, like, you know, the weird.
Yeah.
Here's like a video about like
Yeah.
the 50 weirdest records and like the 100. You know,
Yeah.
everyone saw
That's
the
cool.
best analog
That-
production. Well,
yeah.
now that have all the MoFi.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to get the ironic part is if he's going to complain about not getting
Yeah.
viewers, it's like he's really only preaching to a certain group of people.
No,
So
yeah. I mean, yeah, but,
John,
but,
we're
but you know,
talking about your
Carlos.
governor, Ron DeSantis.
Rob, let
Oh
Felipe.
no! Oh no!
Felipe, what are you
Thank you.
trying to say?
Well,
about
look,
him?
Yeah,
Felipe,
no,
come on
no.
camera so I know you're talking. I don't know who's talking.
Okay.
Half dumb.
Cool. Yeah. So, you know, Carlos, I think, I mean, I bought my first record in 1983. I never sold my records in the 90s, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't keep saying, oh, I knew it was going to come back. So that, you know, I don't say that kind of stuff. Plus, I work in academia for like 10, 15 years. And all those people, I work with like a handful of people that won Nobel Prizes. They never bragged about what they knew. And they always wanted to learn.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah,
for,
he's
for,
definitely
for,
not.
for,
like,
for younger people. So you cannot have
Yeah.
this posture, you know.
right.
No.
No, I'm just saying that he is an expert in this. He's been in this industry for a very long time. So
Yeah.
we have to give him that credit, right?
No, definitely.
What I'm saying is though, what I agree with you. He's totally, you know, going against the community right now, and you know,
The thing is,
Yeah.
I respect his words and his knowledge.
No,
and his
absolutely,
and
absolutely.
all of
Yeah,
his knowledge, but it's obvious he's kind of living in the past.
right?
So
Yes.
but the things that he says are worth taking notes, because
Oh yeah.
you always
absolutely.
take notes from an expert, and I
Yeah.
agree with that. We don't have to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
him.
Right.
You don't have to like a Nobel laureate as well, even though they probably wouldn't.
No, but what I'm saying is, the most knowledgeable people that I've ever seen in my
Right.
life, they're the humblest ones. They're
Right.
always trying to
They're-
learn.
They're not insecure.
They're trying to
about-
learn.
not
They're trying to
insecure
learn
about their
more.
knowledge.
They're not trying to say, "I know more than you do."
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Exactly the opposite.
There's quite a few insecure kind of
You know.
experts on
He's
YouTube.
a big.
Yeah.
He's big on self-promoting himself. He tells us stories of all the great stuff he's experienced.
Yeah.
Uh,
Self-grandizing.
Well,
and-
I mean, the
And
only
he's got, I'm sure his record collection is probably one of the top record collections I'm sure his record collection is amazing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
right,
Yeah.
and I do enjoy. I've only watched a couple of his videos, but he does have some pretty.
Mhm.
He does tend to talk a lot about himself, but he does bring up some good nuggets of knowledge.
He's like, I heard the record. I called Chad. I'm like, Chad, you got to put this out. And Chad put it out the next day. And it sold 1 million copies.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I was in the room. I was in the room with him last February.
Wait, Billy, I felt like Fremer was on the stream.
anyway,
I mean, let's get him up here. Let's get him up, Primer. I did watch that. He did just post a video about the new techniques table, and I watched 30 seconds of it. There's a new generation
It's
of
pretty good. I mean, whenever Jazz Bum's Mike, whenever you watch this, we should definitely cut this part out and make it a single video and put his name on it so he can see
No,
it.
don't do that.
And then we can interview him.
Yeah, let's get him up here.
Hey, what you should put, Chris, is
I'm sure he would love to debate that. His point of view.
Guests of the Jazz Bums bash Fremer. That should be the title. We take no ownership of these comments.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, you got to get him
you
on
have to-
Rachel's Coast
You
first.
do have to give him credit for. I mean, when he says he was fighting for vinyl and nobody else cared, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
Let's call the chat the bumming angle.
The bumming angle.
I mean,
You guys already talk about the Music Matters
That
video.
sounds a little homoerotic.
I could. I'll just.
Getting excited.
I'll just address.
you lived in
Fremer.
England, Dave. That's why you
Look right in the camera, Rob.
coming in America.
Tell Fremer what you're thinking.
No, my take on Fremer is, as someone who kind of humor sometimes misunderstood, I think he leads with his humor. So I think sometimes that humor can be taken the wrong way when he's being snarky.
Well,
so
yeah, and I'm sure we all have. My wife has friends that are much younger, and my humor often doesn't relate.
You're like that skit on that Netflix show where you're going.
I'm totally like the guy, like, did you know, like the Zibby Subi Dubu or whatever. Can I get my almonds, my walnuts? Not quite like that.
Anyway, he called us all chicken pluckers, basically.
Chicken pluckers. Call me Dr. Chicken Plucker at least, okay?
Anyway, part of the reason I think Jazz Bums is good is because there's 3 people starting it, so it's never really egocentric, just by nature. So
And
you've
all
got
chicken pluckers are welcome.
Felipe threatened to beat us up with his taekwondo if we don't name every Friday live stream after him. So,
that's right. I forgot.
Can we do the hair segment, Chris, where you tell us your routine?
I need to get a good hair routine going.
He's got good hair.
I'm trying to find that Telemachus record that you talked about.
Yeah, it's on Bandcamp.
It's sold out.
Oh yeah, and it's hard to even order on Discogs too.
Yeah, I'm looking at getting something on Discogs from someone from Greece.
50 or 45 or something. Yeah.
Hey, Billy, where's my Bobby Hutcherson record?
I got it right here.
You have 3 copies of it, right?
I have 4, Rob.
4?
I want
to copy. This one is in the shrink. I found it. I saved it from the flood.
Oh, dude, I need a copy of that too.
Did you guys see my Instagram post about my storage space?
No, what happened?
There was a leak in my storage space. I'm in the basement. I had like 60 U-Haul boxes in there. I saw someone on a video was like, you should never have more than 2 stacked. And I was like, damn it, they're like 4 stacked. So I was like, I'm going to go back and break them down to 2. I went in there and there was a leak against the wall and like 6 to 8 boxes, black mold and like completely fucked.
Now,
I had a bunch of.
Are you insured for that?
I mean, I did the insurance, but I did a claim and I talked to the people and apparently, and they didn't even really address this when I signed up, but it's only for $2,000. And I already threw out it's not the most expensive record I saw my first time. Like I kind of ran out of there because I've been busy and I have to go back and deal with it. But like that, there's like a copy of that Miles Davis Doo-Bop record, which is kind of rare. It's not a great record, but it's hard to find. It's like in the 90s. And then there was like an Africa Brass and that Supernova Wayne Shorter. But a lot of it was like cool dollar records that I've found through the years that just didn't have sleeves around them. So it was like more about the hours and stuff that I was going to try and, repurpose into like a $5 or $8 record after I cleaned it. But yeah, there's a lot of the records have like the moisture kind of got in a little bit, and it's hard to even how do I let the auditor know that it's just less valuable than it was. It's just damaged, I guess. But so I'm only covered up to 2,000, and I have to go there this weekend and kind of take inventory of everything that was destroyed.
Can I ask a question? How do you pay for the storage space with a credit card?
Oh.
You should reach out to your credit card company.
That's a good idea.
I'm smart. Everyone, I am smarter than forever.
Wait, but what if it's like a bank? What if it's like a debit card that is also a credit card?
If it's a Visa debit card, I have to think you get the protection of Visa.
Yeah, and I also think I should be refunded for like the 8 months I used them as a storage space.
I would venture to go to small claims court. I know you have.
Yeah, I know. It's $5,000. I was thinking about that too.
Yeah, I would. This is your livelihood. You got to make an example of them.
Yeah, no
yeah.
shit.
Who's the guy in the VC though who got his shit flooded? Like, I want to get like all the people send me records.
He's nice.
Steve Carlson.
He's much more leveled up than you are, dude. You wear Crocs, man.
I want people to send me Chicago records.
Send me Chicago records. Go Chicago.
No, but yeah, it's fucking tragic. The photos, I'll post them later. They're just like so gnarly. You know that one Chet Baker record where it's like the Fred sings and plays or whatever? It just looks like completely just
How could that go unnoticed? Because I get it affect other storage spaces too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in the basement, so I'm wondering. I mean, they don't have their shit together. I mean, they own a bunch of spaces called safe storage. Like they're all over. It's like they're all over the East Coast and stuff. It's not like
look, dude. Here's the deal. You go to small claims court, and they knew, and you found out they knew about this and didn't inform you. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Judge Wapner is going to find in favor of you.
Judge Judy.
Yeah. Just like some lawyer TV shows, and then you can take care of it yourself, man.
I'll represent myself.
Yeah,
I'll have Rob. Sounds like I need Rob to rep me.
Yeah. Get one of those powder blue tuxedos. Carrying a small dog with you.
I think Laspin's probably going to be out of your price range for this one.
But
I heard the music and then saw Rob walking in with his briefcase and.
Listen. These storage space people don't know what they're talking about.
Did I get a dono for the hairdryer? Dono.
Hey,
Mazzy with the dono.
I'm gonna get.
Say dono here because Nicole hates it, so you can't say.
Okay.
What is it? What can't you say?
Arnie Zanzibar.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. That's pretty good. Thank you, Mazzy. Come join us.
So let's get back to these Billy Hutcherson records.
I called dibs on a copy.
No. So I've got one for 60, which is VG plus, and then this one's in the shrink, but it's the 71. I could do 70 for that one.
I'll take that one.
I have one that I cracked open from the shrink that's 100. I never played it. And then there's like another one that's probably floating in the Gowanus Canal, right?
There's a mold one.
I get you the mold one for $15.
The $70 one.
But I'll offline. I'm thinking about selling more records online. I just kind of want. You've heard other people say this, where it's like you want to be able to offer it in person, And there's a few record shows coming up, but there's this local store called Academy CD. It's not the other academies, but like during pandemic, they put up a lot of records, and they just started doing it again. And they posted, that Mbari record. It's like the 2D Heath. It's MBARI. It's like you guys know that record?
Is it the Heath Brothers? Is it on Muse?
No, it's on that one label that only had like 4 records. It's kind of a private press that came out later. It's like if you look it up, you've probably seen it before. But they posted it for like $300, and it kind of like went right away. And then they posted like a Sonny Rollins first press. I mean, it's just like stores in New York generally don't do that, but it just seems like. Do you guys buy off Instagram?
I don't, but
used to.
I think the better record stores at least advertise what they're putting on the floor that day. Like Record Safari works it to a science.
Yeah, I'm about to do that after this video.
I mean, in theory, I guess, like if a shop I know has some good stuff, I'll go down. I mean, I've definitely bought some things because I saw the Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, just like, if I were to post something, if you were like, buying off an Instagram, like a shop in Seattle or something, it's like, it's the label.
I would only go someplace that I know.
No, Billy, I mean, like, we ship.
Billy, the science of how it works is you're bringing them in and they're not going to leave with one record.
No, I know.
So that's when your $1 or $5 bin stuff gets
out. No, I mean, it's been going well. I mean, I've got a lot of the record. Can I show a few records? I'll just show 5 records. How about?
Yeah, of course.
Some of
them. If you show more than 5, you're cut off.
All right, I'm going to show.
They better be good.
Nobody shows more than 5.
I'll show stuff that have a little intrigue. I really love this Yusef Lateef record. It's from the 70s. It's on Atlantic, but it's got a real jazz funk kind of like at times spiritual and modal. It's kind of all over the place, but it doesn't really miss. And I think it's like a deeply underrated record that I keep returning to. I will return again.
I think that's on either Speaker's Corner or Pure Pleasure. They have.
Oh, they put it out.
Mhm.
But yeah, I highly recommend checking this out. It almost
never
feels
seen
like
that
a Strata black jazz style record. I found this at a store for $20, and it's a Sonny Chris record.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is that the Japanese reissue or?
The Japanese reissue, and it's like there's only one listed on Discogs in the 70s, and this is definitely not the same Imperial label.
No,
So I
they
think
didn't
there's
like
like a 60 or an 80s. I think there's like a 60s, 70s Imperial that's just
There's
never
a
gotten.
Classic Records issued that.
It's awesome.
Yeah. It's good.
But yeah, I have it for
Early
$40.
Sonny Chris.
It's a good deal because it's really early and you can't find a US copy. I found this record last week there's a store in New York called Face Records, and they were doing a 25% off sale. They get like crates from Japan, so it's all Japanese jazz and city pop and stuff like that.
Wow.
It's usually right on the nose. All their prices are like you're just paying what you'd pay for like a Japanese press without the shipping, which is cool. But they had 25% off, and I found a copy of this, which I'd never seen before. It's Freddie Hubbard.
Can you take it out? Can you take it out of the sleeve?
It's called Gleam, and it's around the time when he was doing those kind of like corny records on like Columbia. I don't know why my camera sucks so bad.
The Columbia are good, not corny. They're good.
Not corny, you know what I mean? Like it's just a little bit more polished.
Produced, yes.
Sorry. This has more of a feel of like the CTI era Freddie stretching out. Like there's each side has one song.
Oh, cool.
Like there's it comes with this like nice little
awesome.
booklet. It didn't come with the obi. I don't know if there probably was an obi, but if you can read Japanese, it probably tells the story of the. It was a live show, and they're kind of like on fire.
That's amazing, Billy.
Yeah, I was very lucky to find this, and I was like, I'm wondering why this hasn't been reissued. Henry Franklin plays bass. You might know from some black jazz. George Cable plays electric piano. The other names I don't really know. Carl Randall Jr. But it's live in Tokyo, 1975, and they do Too High by Stevie Wonder. They do Put It in My Pocket by Freddie, and then there's a song called Kuntu, which is a Hubbard side. Yeah, just really, really cool. Someone should reissue it.
That's really cool. Henry Franklin did a lot of touring with different musicians.
He did?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he toured with Hampton Hawes and Freddie Hubbard. So he actually, I think he's on more live albums than he is on studio albums.
He's still playing. He did a couple.
I saw him. He's barely playing, but
he's an LA guy.
Yeah.
He's really tall.
I found a sealed copy of like one of his like private press style records at the record collector, the mean record guy.
Yeah. And he rightfully kicked your ass out of the store, right?
Yeah, he did. Not the first time. The second time, definitely. I had a record. I had a radio show that I had to do monthly, and I played a bunch of stuff today. And one of the things I played, I don't know if you saw Bob Bradley's video about the Deodato record. That has we've all seen this all the time. Prelude. Yeah. So Rob Bradley talked about how on September 13th, which is like a jazz funk masterpiece, there's apparently some versions of this that had a 36-second bongo break at the end. And he had never been able to find it. And once I saw that video, I've been searching everywhere, and it's kind of like I didn't believe it was true either. But then I did just find one, and there is 32 seconds. And I'm wondering maybe if anyone else checks their collections, if it's the one that has the blocked out CDI.
Let me go look at mine.
I asked Bob about that, and he said you need to look at the dead wax to tell the difference. You're saying it has the block.
I don't know. I didn't know. What would it say in the dead wax?
He's here.
Bob, what does it say?
Bob says you have to look at the dead wax to see if it's big or not. That's what he told me.
Oh, if there's a lot of room, you mean? Oh,
Yeah.
I know what you mean. No. Yeah. No, you can look and see if there's like the grooves are wider where the break is. Yeah, definitely. But until you see it, you kind of don't know it. And then once you do see it, you're like, oh, you kind of have to like.
So wait, is the deciding thing that the CTI is blocked out?
No, I'm wondering if anyone else finds other ones and it does have the blocked, we could potentially deduce that is at least signifying that it has to at least have that block.
Which side is the solo on?
It's September 13th, so it's on side 2. It's the last track. Billy Cobham, Amir Deodato composed track. It's so good. I mean, it's like it's worth a listen just to try it. But yeah, on the
I'll check my copy tomorrow.
Yeah. So that was really cool. Thanks,
So wait,
Bob. Yeah.
just to let everyone know, the bongo break is 36 seconds as opposed to
Yes.
how many seconds?
8.
It goes from 8 to 36?
No, it's like 32 bars versus 1 bar, or like who knows music. It's like it's like 12 bars or 36 bar. It's like
Look, speak to us in English, man. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
It's longer. That's what matters.
yeah, and there's a point where you're listening to it and you're like, oh, it's gonna end now, and it's like still going, and it's kind of cool for DJs. I think that like, it allows you to kind of segue out or beat match or something.
Cool.
I found a copy of this, and I've seen this over the VC, like not in a while, but like everyone seems to love Harold Land. But this is like a really cheap copy, a really cheap record. You guys know this?
Isn't that on?
It's on a Picante.
I don't know that one.
It's on Concord Jazz. I got it for $8. Lou Mitchell, Harold Land. It's almost like the Harold Land Hutcherson group without Hutcherson, kind of like that same kind of like smoky modal vibe that he was kind of in at the time. Mapenzi, Rapture, Habiba is like has a lot of African kind of like influences. Tootie Heath is on it. Call back to that other record.
How do you like that?
I really like this. Yeah. This was like
I see it. It's like a $12 record.
Yeah. I got it for $8. It feels like a $50 record to me if it had a different cover.
Did you guys figure out the Deodato thing? Did you figure that out? I went and got mine.
Look at the dead wax, and if there's like if there's a bigger block at the very end of September 13th, you'll see where a break. Usually, you can identify breaks where there's no grooves because there's like less. So where there's like, it'll be like a small little break or like a thumbnail of a break. So I really like that record. I bought this record upon y'all's recommendation. I haven't listened to it yet, but this is a Clifford Jordan title on Muse with Tommy Flanagan, Grady Tate, and Bill Lee.
I have that.
You have it?
Yeah, I have a white label promo of that.
How's it sound?
Good.
I bet it's good, right?
It's pretty standard. Like it's just hard bop.
Didn't you, Brandon, show like a lot, or someone showed like a live Clifford Jordan on Muse that has like a bunch of the stuff he did on, the stuff he did for Strata, like he does a live version of like Glass Speed Games, but there's like right around this time he did a live record for Muse that.
Oh no, that wasn't mine. I have the Strata East one.
Do you guys know about this record?
No.
Masabumi Kikuchi. This is the U.S. press of a Japanese record. It's got Teramisa Hainu on it. It's got Dave Freeman, Dave Liebman, and Steve Grossman. And it's got like a Headhunters vibe to it, but it's like very kind of like Electric Miles, but like funky and repetitious.
That sounds awesome.
This is like, I really highly recommend.
No, I said it sounds awesome.
Oh yeah.
Not awful. Awesome.
There's a song called Circle Line that you should check out, and you'll get a feel for the whole record. But I actually DJ it when I like play out. But it's
cool. I like Teramisa Hino.
Yeah, and Kikuchi did some stuff with Billy Harper. I don't know if you've seen those records, and Gil Evans.
Yeah, there's one you can only get from Japan. But
Yeah. I got that. there's this. This is a really cheap record too that I was kind of shocked about on Cadet. This is Illinois Jacket with Kenny Burrell, and it's kind of like Illinois, like a little bit later and more soul jazz. It's not that kind of like breathy kind of stuff that he did earlier, but it's got it's got like bongo on it and stuff like that. But it has like a really nice feel, and for like $5 to $8 if you see it, I definitely recommend it.
Hey,
Kenny
Bill,
Burrell.
did you see when I showed this one?
Oh, oh my God, that record's so good.
It's so incredible, and I think I
sold it for $10 3 weeks ago.
I got this mint copy for like $12. It's
Dude,
such a
you
good
can't find
record.
it for less than 30 right now. I can't find it. Tony Williams, yeah. And then
Cecil McBee.
Yeah,
That's a great record.
I found this record, which is kind of an oddball record. This Neil Craig called Contrast. Really cool record on Cobblestone. It has it's kind of gotten, it's one of those records where each track kind of takes on a different style of the day, but it's got like clavinet on it, electric piano, Al Foster's on it. There's a lot of percussion, a lot of weird instrumentation. But yeah, I played a song off this today. I don't know which one I played, but it's a really interesting listen, and really beat up cover, but the record's great. So if you can find that, I recommend it. I know you guys know anything on Cobblestone is worth checking out. Yeah, I'll show one more. Oh, I found this really interesting Roy Ayers record called Drive, and you see a lot of Roy Ayers records from this era, and you kind of avoid them a little bit.
Is it on Galaxy?
This one's on Ichiban. It's a Tokyo release only. I found it at this record store called Dream Tackle, which also sells fishing lines and furniture in Greenpoint. But it's really amazing. It's really hypnotic. It's got a lot of sort of Afrobeat influence and a lot of disco. Really kind of hypnotic jazz funk that stretches out a little bit more. A lot different than the stuff you Roy Ayers in the 80s on, I think, what was he on, like a Epic or a Polydor. And then last I'll show, I really enjoyed this. I got a copy of this record on Catalyst. Frank Strazzeri. And I actually watched a video of the 10-minute record reviews, which I think I've mentioned on this show before, but I love his show. I watch all of his reviews. But I found the record and was just kind of Googling information and then watched his video about it. But there's one side is completely like toast on mine, but on the other side is a track called Cloudburst, which is like an 8-minute long sort of jazz funk odyssey that was like played a lot in like, sort of the acid jazz, sort of jazz dance era. And it's got Don Alias on drums, but it's like a lot of Moog synthesizer and string synthesizer. But yeah, check out the song Cloudburst. And if you find this record and it's mispriced, it's an expensive record now, but I feel like it's the type of record that I've probably passed by in the past and just kind of was like, oh, it's that weird Catalyst zone that I don't know much about. But now I don't pass on Catalyst records anymore, and so I picked up that one.
Nice. I haven't seen that.
So that's a few things. Brandon, you're muted.
Sorry, my dogs were barking, so I muted. I've seen that record in the cheap bins.
Pick it up, man. It's cool. Cool. I'm so sad that one of the sides doesn't work, but at least I can enjoy the one that does.
Hey, my dogs are going crazy, so I got to take off, you guys.
All right, man.
But thanks so much.
Yeah.
See you, Brendan.
Hi, Brendan.
What's up, Mazzy?
Well, I paid my $10 cover charge, so I thought I should come in for a little while.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I've been playing the Replacements Tim all day today, so.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, I got some 3 records sent to me. I have not listened to these. it was interesting. This woman reached out to me from Elemental.
Yeah.
And she's in Barcelona, so they FedEx these from Barcelona.
Yeah,
But,
they're in Spain. They're meant to Spanish. Yeah.
they are Spanish, but I didn't realize. Anyway, I thought there's an American. Anyway, this.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
cool.
interested. Let us know how that sounds. I'm interested in that.
Yeah, I will. I will.
I like the hype sticker.
I probably won't get to them until next week, but this.
Oh, that's a double album, right?
It is a double album.
Yeah. It's a reissue of Crisscross.
Very cool.
Who the fuck is that? That's not.
Looks like Joe Marino, right?
That's Fremer in his younger years.
Yeah.
Well, that must be Phil Markowitz. First of all, it must be him because that's Markowitz looks like a Jewish guy.
Oh gosh, let's label people, man.
Come on. Oh, but it says maybe because the hype sticker is covering it. It says live at Nick's. Oh, I see. Here we go. Chet Baker featuring. Okay, sorry.
That's not the best Chet Baker photo. He's usually more handsome.
You know,
Chris Cross, though.
But this is interesting. I love this record, and the original ABC record sounds so good. And this is going to be from a digital file, and I know it's not jazz, obviously, but the first step.
Oh, nice.
And unfortunately, they didn't do like the silver metallic cover, like they. Who was it that Record Store Day about 5-6 years ago did the mono version with a beautiful. I forgot what label. Anybody remember? I have it downstairs. Yes, T-shirt.
Very nice. You can get those anymore.
I put this on this morning. What's great in this light, it looks black, even though it's a fucking dark blue. So,
Matthew, you're one of the only people that has those because we had to take them off the store because Blue Note didn't like it. Yeah,
you took them off because of copyright.
Yeah.
Well,
we took them off because their legal department does not like those shirts.
Oh, that's awesome.
Are you serious?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm milking this one forever.
Yeah.
eBay.
Wait, how do you milk a shirt?
Did you pay for that?
You really don't want the answer to that.
If I
put holes in it,
the problem
grab the bums and just squeeze.
If I put it on eBay and try to sell it, I'll get Clapton's German lawyers suing me for selling a bootleg.
Oh my god!
Honestly, did they make you pay for that?
Yeah, I paid for it. I mean,
why didn't you guys send them a free one?
They actually
one free shirt.
To their credit, when they did the first series with the overly big logo, they sent me a free shirt. So I appreciate that. I like the
pay for my mug.
I don't expect people to the little people to sell me free shit. Only the big labels.
Yes.
Chris, can you drop a link in the chat? The secret link that the non-Blue Note link.
Yeah,
the non-gluten
I'll
link.
see if Mike can post it. I don't know what it is. It's probably in our channel, though. I mean, if you just go to our YouTube channel, there's probably a link there.
Okay.
If not, we'll add one. Sure.
This is the first time in a while I'm so behind on listening to stuff. I mean, it reminds me when I actually did work in the record business. You get so many promos; they would sit there sometimes for months, and you wouldn't even open and listen to them. You don't have time because you're trying to keep up.
Right.
So
sure.
I got those Betty Davis records from Light in the Attic. I got 3 of those, but I have some of those already. I think they're just represses of them.
Did you listen to your Meters records yet?
My beaters?
Meters.
Yes.
The meters are great.
Those are great.
Those are great.
I bought 2 out of the 3 because I didn't buy the one I already had. I'm tired of buying, so I bought 2 of them. I thought you said Breeders because I'm waiting for the Breeders. The Strawberry album is on its way because I love the Breeders.
They're playing live right now, I think. They're touring.
Yeah, they are touring.
they're touring.
I just love.
Don't judge me, but I saw a billboard in LA for Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah, she's opening.
And the Breeders opening up for her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That seems
Respect.
odd.
That's respect.
I really want to buy that Olivia record.
Her record is amazing. It's really good and heavy.
But I've heard
full
of her. I know
guitars.
she's this young. It's really dark and it's really interesting.
Oh yeah.
It's not just I thought when I first see her and everything, you think it's this young, another pop chick. Excuse me, but you could say young guy too, whatever.
Yeah.
But I liked what I heard. In a way, like Del Rey in that kind of darkness.
It's different. No, she's really good in songwriting, and she's getting deep into Rage Against the Machine.
Really?
It's a big
Is she
influence
open?
on her.
She's opening up for Rage Against the Machine.
No, but she enjoys it, and
The Breeders are
I think
opening
it's
up
cool.
for
I
her.
mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's
That
cool that
is
she
kind of weird.
the Breeders. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, 2 years ago I saw Weezer in Tampa, and the Pixies were opening for them. I mean, you can compare how important they are, but that's how those things go.
Hey, Rob, what kind of venue are they playing in LA?
The Greek.
And yeah, I don't know. Let me look.
I can look. I'm just
I bet
curious.
it's the Greek.
Hey, Mazzy, some of your friends are bailing on you and asking me to be their friend.
I just have one friend to ping.
Dr. Robert's coming to LA and he wants to meet up.
I'm not one of these people that says if you're my friend, you can't be someone else's friend.
Right.
I was no one answered my comment. Of course, I was listening to blasting the replacements. But
that
I
text
said,
you sent me
can I get a head shave at the Billy's hair salon in 3 weeks? Can I make an appointment?
It looks like you're pretty good.
Yeah, it grows though. It grows
Well,
where it grows.
We'll take care of you. We'll take care of you.
The problem is when you lose your hair, it's fucked up. But you live with it.
I
and
agree.
hair grows.
I agree.
But hair
Mazzy, you
grows
pull
where
it
it
off.
never. But hair grows where it never grew before. That's the fucked
Ooh.
up part.
Yeah.
She's
You know,
playing.
nose, ears.
Ears.
Olivia Rodrigo is playing at the Forum.
Oh, the Forum. That's
Wow.
cool.
So, an arena that probably holds about, I think, like 14,000 because they
Wow.
converted it. No sports anymore. It's just a
Is that the
performance.
one in Inglewood?
Yeah, but now the stadium's there, the football stadium, which is gigantic, and across the street is the new Clippers arena, which will also the Forum is owned by Madison Square Garden. They're suing them. Yeah, it's a whole big to do. But
Wait, is that LA Live?
no, LA Live is downtown LA.
So
This
the
is in Inglewood.
The Clippers have their own arena now.
They're building their own arena in Inglewood.
Wow.
Check out this pupper, y'all. That's a cute dog.
Those dogs fart a lot, right?
Depending on what she eats. Yeah, they're the best. We actually got her as an emotional support dog, but we have 2 of them now. They're French bulldogs. They're awesome.
They look awesome.
They're a lot of fun.
All right, Seamus.
I think all the vinyl community people who feel it's toxic should get emotional dogs, emotional support dogs.
I think we should all get emotional support from hers.
Yeah.
Did anybody? I missed it. Did you guys talk about the Baraka P Dub and Michael?
I was gonna ask that. I didn't get to watch it yet.
I watched the whole thing. I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, it was good.
That guy, he's probably watching.
Revealed, Mazzy?
I'm sorry.
Did they say something that?
Yeah. So I have a little insight. I
Anything new?
I won't share it,
Anything
but
new from there?
yeah, a lot of new stuff. My friend Mazzy, you watched it. The guy Jeremy that you may have not been familiar with, the filmmaker.
I didn't know him, and I frankly, off the record, he didn't seem to fit in there.
Yeah, well,
We're live, man. It's not really off the record.
He's probably watching this.
Right off the record.
No. You're going to meet him. We're on the record.
Touche, Chris. No, not to put him down, but he didn't seem to know about the stuff they're talking.
Yeah, he's a filmmaker. He's obsessed with Music Matters. He comes to the shop a lot. He's in New York. I met him when I opened up the shop.
Yeah.
He's friends with Valmarais Michael, and he's obsessed.
I know Michael really well.
Yeah. You know him from back in the Four Corners era.
The Four Corners. I've met him twice up here in Seattle.
Yeah, and so he knows him, and they got to talking, and I think that Jeremy can speak for himself, but he does a lot of documentary stuff, and he's been working on some things. And I think he just kind of helped bring all the pieces together.
Got it.
Just doing some investigative work. But I actually traded some of my Music Matters to him for some original pressings. But he did share with me, which I probably can't share. They did have an extended conversation that wasn't a part of the video.
Of course.
There's a lot, where he told me a lot of things about. I mean, nothing really crazy, but even the fact that they talked about how they were kind of little things, one of their favorite tapes, that they got to hear was I think they talked about, I don't know if it was on the video or not, but was the Donald Byrd Royal Flush record.
Yeah.
I immediately went and got like an RVG, like the Blue B. Or
I have one of those.
Yeah.
I got from the.
I have the exact same one. It's great.
Me too. It
And
was in the Dizzy collection. I kept that one. I think I.
Yeah, and they were. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was like placebo effect, but I put it on. It was clean. I was like, damn, this tape does sound like. It does sound good. And to think that they preserved that one, and that was probably one of Harley's and Gray's favorite tapes.
It'll probably be a tone poet then, because they didn't do that. Yeah.
They but I didn't get to see it. But from what he shared with me, there was a lot of great information in that, right, Mazzy?
No, it was really good, and I know it wasn't a dig to your friend at all. It's just that they didn't need 3 people interviewing 2 people. I mean, that type of thing. Yeah. And Michael and Paul have a history. Paul was up here. We went to see Beck together actually a few weeks ago or last month, and we went record shopping. He works for NASA. There's a NASA.
He's worked for their security system for like 20 years or something.
He works. He runs the team, and this is no secret. He heads the team that approves every little thing that goes into the space station.
What a lot of pressure that is.
And like if it's a toothbrush, it's a cup, because you can have shit flying around and safety, and it's a safety thing for everything. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's very technical with his setup he's into Riga turntables and replaces.
I mean, his intros must take.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't do many videos anymore. But he used to do a lot.
Elaborate.
He's he's a really nice guy, really good guy. He's been on my fair. Wish he did more, but that's the only thing about the video. I mean.
But in terms of information, is there anything that sticks out to you that you would share with us?
Well, they didn't talk about any secrets of stuff, but they talk about the history and a lot of the stuff we've heard where finally Don said, hey, do for us what you do for a couple people asked, are they still around? They're pretty much dead. It's whatever's left, but every once in a while, for whatever reason, Ron Rumbach keeps adding every once in a few records are added to their
Did you get an email about Cool Strutting like 2 weeks ago or like a week and a half ago?
No, I haven't gotten any emails from it all lately. I'm
Cool Strutting is actually in stock today. If you go there, it's in stock.
I got to remember if I have it. I have about 75 Music Matters. But they did talk about one interesting thing in there, and it's not a big secret, but they were always 45 until the last few years, and they did 33s and the SRXs. And a lot of that when Kevin's went from acoustic and he did his new studio Coherent, it was a huge improvement. So he's convinced, and a lot of people, even Joe, that the 33s later are better than the early 45s. Wow. If there's an equivalent, even though there's no equivalent. Well, there were a few, I guess. Because it's just the nature of the new gear, the new cabling, whatever.
Is that kind of like a subtle promotion for the Tone Poets in a way?
I don't think it was like that, because it was just. I've always said, as if I could trade, I would trade straight across any 45s I had if I could get all the 33s. Unfortunately, they didn't make a lot of 33s. Right. Because I'm not against flipping, but I just like the simplicity of a 33 by far.
Yeah, but it feels weird even getting a Music Matters 33 when you're like seeing them for like 100 or 150, and you're like, Tone Poets are 35 and they're probably going to get around. Is there no chance that they're ever going to there's going to be a day where they do those again?
The thing is, what he did say is Blue Note is not licensing to anybody. They don't need to. They do it in-house now.
Right.
And we wish everyone would do all analog stuff in-house? No one does. Rhino does like 2 every few months, but they're the only ones that do it every single month, I think.
Yeah.
Their stance still right now with Joe is as long as he's still doing the Tone Poets, he wants to focus on stuff he hasn't done, and they'll do all those other titles in the classic series. They're planning on, if you guys noticed, when they did the new list of the classic series, it was just announced a few months back. It was much more geared towards some of these older titles as opposed to what they were doing last year, they were doing all the different decades, and they're going to do more of that for a while going forward because they recognize the demand on that. So they're going to do them that way, any titles that he doesn't want to do. And they said they'll try to put out anything that's, other than stuff that just won't sell, but they're going to try to put out as much of the catalog as they can.
I wish they would had, I'm a different maybe in the market. I mean, I get they want the market to be reasonable. What, they're almost up to $30 now, what, $28, right? The classics.
Yeah.
I almost wish they would just add $2 and make it a thicker jacket and a.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
They don't have to do a gatefold, but
Yeah.
and so make it a $32 record.
Yeah.
And make it a better cover. I don't care about the gatefolds personally, you know.
No, I'd pay an extra $3 or $4 if they had, you know, nicer covers for sure.
One thing they did kind of hint at was something about extra copies that are going to be released to the public soon.
Of
Music Matters?
Yeah.
They've been kind of doing that, haven't they? Like little by little.
No, I mean, I guess all of them or something like that. It seemed like they were. I don't know. Then Michael from Notre Dame Archive said, "We'll talk about this offline."
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, Joe Marino. No, first of all, Joe Harley doesn't own it. It's Rom Rombach who owns the metalwork. He's certainly not. I mean, they don't need to sell it back because actually the old metalwork, Kevin could do it better now. So why would they buy old metalwork when Kevin's new rig is better? They could just do it, you know, and pay him directly, and probably not any more or less than they would. But Ron would want for the metalwork. But he can't press anymore because the license is run out.
Well, I wonder if I think he may have had some extra licensing on some of these records and pressed new copies too.
Well, Joe talked about that. No, you know, he asked for, it was 2,500 and then 3,500 for the 33s. That was it. They couldn't press anymore. And he says, you know, and the only reason they got the deal way back is because they knew Michael Kaskuna, and Kaskuna helped them get the deal. Because these are these two guys that had never done a label. They've in the audio, but not in the same way. And Kaskuna was the guy who did, you know, the Mosaic stuff. And he worked for Blue Note in the 80s. He ran Blue Note in the 1980s.
Didn't Harley work with Chad or something before that? Or
he did some stuff for Chad in the, you know, freelance like Kevin did, and they did some things, and they did talk about. I think there was one title. There was a couple of crossover things, a little competitive thing, because there weren't supposed to be any. Like if Chad did something, they Music Matter Jazz wasn't going to do it. I think there was.
It was Monin and Leeway.
Right. Okay, there you go.
Well, but they did like how many? They did like 20 titles, no, or more.
Who?
Yeah.
Chad, Blue Note.
They did 50 titles.
50.
50.
You
Just
know
two runs of 25.
When the SRX was the SRXs like 2018 or something, the first year?
At the end of it, yeah.
Not 19 and 20.
I remember
20,
they announced them in January, and I really didn't pay attention. And it wasn't until August that I ended up buying that whole series. Was it 12 of them for like $699 for all 12?
Wow.
But they had sold out of some of the individuals. So if you wanted them, everything, you'd have to buy the whole series. But when you think about it, 12 for $699 is a bargain.
Yeah.
Well, for now,
half price at least.
But it was like 8 months. They were around for 8 months hanging around. So it wasn't like it happened the next year where everything like went really quick.
Oh yeah.
Well, here's a good question. So, what are the differences in the Blue Note vinyl with classics versus tone pots? The only difference is the pressing plant, really.
Mm-hmm.
The classics are pressed at Optimal in Germany, and then the tone pots pressed at RTI.
Yeah, and Joe's not involved, you know, so he's there with Kevin doing the tone pots. He's not involved on the classic.
Yeah, but didn't he listen to all the test pressings too, though?
Yeah, he gets test pressings of everything. So, they're pressed at the different plants and then the jackets, but the quality's good on that. I mean, I think the classics are great. Other than, you know, I mean, occasionally you have people getting, you know, pressing isses and things like that, but sound quality wise and everything else, I love them.
I agree.
No, the 80th and the classic series are great. About every single one of them, pretty much.
And they've got them plotted out for quite some time. That both of those series are going to be going for a long time.
I'm trying to let them sit around for a while before I buy them now, though, because they go on sale eventually. A lot of them, like Amazon, for like $17, $18, you know.
But they're smart. They don't have to license to a third party because they'll make more money because they're not, you know, for one thing. And you kind of wish, like, no offense to Chad doing these 45s. You know, Atlantic is not going to license 33s to anyone else. So they only, and people complain, well, how come Chad's doing 45? Well, that's all he can get.
Right. Exactly.
But I wish the Atlantic stuff was all analog. You know, I'm not usually a stickler all analog, and maybe it's some of the soul records that don't
the later
matter.
ones, Mazzy, were probably recorded digitally anyway.
Well, yeah, that's only the STP. Well, actually, STP is an analog record.
Well, like in XS, is that analog?
I don't know.
The later stuff.
But didn't like Rhino did what in the last 5 or 6 years, or a lot of Retha Otis Redding, and I think Kevin Gray cut and Chris Bellman cut some of those. And those are really good.
Some, not all of them, but yeah, they did some.
Yeah, they did. No, not everything, but they did some. So I don't know why these labels don't want to do their own in-house thing like that. Even Rhino with this new series they did with the Cars and
Hi-Fi,
it's like so infrequent. You know? I mean,
maybe they'll speed some of those up. I mean, there's also just a lot of shit to buy if you want to buy reissues. There's too much now.
You can't keep up with it all, but at least if they have it out there, you know, you pick and choose.
Did y'all talk about Chad's new series last week? Because I wasn't here. The Atlantic series he's done. We know we're talking about it right now. But like, what records are y'all interested in?
Zero.
The ones that are interesting, at least from a jazz perspective, is there's a bunch of Mingus. Probably about half of them I would want to get. There's Coltrane.
Yep.
And
I want to get the Velvet Underground title. I think that's the only thing that really interests me.
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins.
Yeah.
I only ordered one. I ordered the
Otis
Atlantic
Redding.
Boz Scaggs album, the first one with Dwayne Allman, and the one at Muscle Shoals. And the irony, it was produced by Jan Wenner.
Like the out of the three that are coming, 3 are coming out when? In October or November?
Yeah.
October.
There's one. One is my favorite Mingus Atlantic album.
I'm gonna get that.
Roots and Herbs.
Yeah, I have a 70s. I have a 70s.
That, Rob?
Roots and Blues, right? That's it.
Roots and Blues, yes. No, Roots and, yeah.
That one. I
That's
have
a
the
killer
clown.
one.
The clown is good. There's a part on the side too where it's the Gene Shepard.
I love that. That's the best part of the album.
That's
it's like beat. I love that.
But
are they doing this one?
Yeah, they're doing that one. I have a copy. The one I don't have is that weird title one, Falafalus.
That's not Atlantic, is it?
Yeah.
That Philadelphia Fallas.
Yeah. That one I'll probably get too.
That's so expensive in the wild. I feel like
Zazbo on that record, Rob.
And
they should actually digitally put Zazbo into every one of those records.
Yeah.
I think Chad said the Phil Collins are the only ones that are limited because they only got like a 1-year license or something.
Well, that's cool.
So anybody who wants those should get them. I don't want them.
The first 2 Phil Collins records are excellent.
They're going to sell out. They're going to sell out.
Yeah, they'll sell out.
He was like the first guy to get the Earth, Wind, and Fire horn section. They make that album incredibly awesome.
Okay, yeah. That's like the
what are those records called?
Face Value and then Hello, I Must Be Going.
Did you ever hear the story about getting the Earth, Wind, and Fire horns when he recorded that album?
No, tell us, please.
Well, I've read his autobiography, Phil Collins. It's actually pretty good. But basically, these guys walk in, they're like, who's this white guy?
They always say that.
But you know, Dave, not to interrupt you, but you know Phil Collins produced Philip Bailey's solo album.
I know. But the horn section were like, who is this white guy? And they gave him, it was a really difficult session. Even though it sounds great, it just really was tough. It was a very tough recording session. Those guys did not want to listen to him. They just wanted to, get paid and get the hell out of there. But if you ever want to read, I read lots of biographies and autobiographies of artists. And the Phil Collins one is really good. I didn't know he almost died. He had a really bad alcohol problem. Who knew? I thought he was pretty clean cut, but he was bald. He was almost.
He had like, wasn't he married 4 times?
You know what happened to him down here in Miami, right? His wife got with another guy, and they kicked him out of his own house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch Netflix, a light comedy, Emily in Paris? That's his daughter.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Very
Lily,
hot.
Lily, right?
She's like little, yeah. She's like a little thing, like a little.
And his son's a good drummer.
But Miles always did that. Who is that? Who is this white cat? You know,
Who's that white bitch on the cover of my record?
Exactly that too. Like
they were very difficult. I wish I could remember all the little details, but I just remember I read the book a couple of years ago. But yeah, it's a very difficult session with those guys.
All right, y'all. I gotta post some Instagram, price some records.
See you in
Thanks
3
for having
weeks.
me up here. I'll see
3
you in
weeks.
2 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
3 weeks. I'm gonna vacuum for you guys, and
Thank you,
Mazzy
thank
will
you.
get you we'll give you a buzz cut. We'll lower your ears further.
Okay.
Hey, Billy, can you frost his tips? Oh,
I'm gonna probably take off too.
yeah, I think I'm gonna exit. I don't know where Chris went.
Well, at least wait till the guests come back. So
I want to. Yeah, I need to listen to an album before I shut it down.
Yeah, I think I'm going to head out. Just wanted to say hi.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Well, I guess we're leaving then.
Tune in tomorrow on Mazzy's channel, 1 p.m. Pacific.
Oh yeah, 1 p.m. auction tomorrow. So I don't know. Don't ask me what I'm having. I don't really know yet. So
You have any jazz?
yeah, actually.
There's jazz I didn't take pre.
Damn it, Rob's already rated it.
I did make a preview video, but it doesn't really show much. I just made it's like a reminder thing and Dizzy talks. So it's up there somewhere. It's on my channel. So I make too many videos. So. All right.
Hey, none of you guys are in the DC area, are you?
I'm from there.
Yeah,
I'm
from
going
there,
back in November. Why?
If anybody listening or watching is in DC and wants to say hello, I'll be at my friend's coffee roaster. I'll be at the DC Coffee Fest next weekend. Come by. Bush Hill Coffee is my friend's. He's a vendor at that, so I'm going.
I need to be there. I can't get there, but I'm
just going up to hang out with him and have some fun. But I'll be in DC. I'm traveling up there next week. So
Bill, where do you live?
I'm in North Carolina, but we're driving up. We're driving up to DC next weekend, so it should be fun. If anybody's in the DC area listening, come say hello. Come introduce.
Thinking about going to the Capitol Audio Fest in November.
Yeah.
What is that?
The Capitol Audio Fest.
Where's that?
in DC?
It's near it. It's in Maryland. It's a
cool.
It's a high-fi gear show.
It's in Rockville.
Yeah.
It's in Rockville, Rob. Yeah, Twinbrook.
Don't go back
Right
to
there.
Rockville.
Are you going, Philippe?
That song's about Rockville, Maryland.
Is it?
Philippe, you
Is
got
it
it?
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
think there
thinking
was-
about Dave.
One
Yeah, I
of them
gotta-
was dating a girl from Rockville.
Should I drive?
I used to live. I used to live right next door to the hotel.
Wow.
Where
It's
the
where
fest is.
Mazzy. It's where all the Jews in DC are mostly around there.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, the JCC is right there. Yeah,
At the B'nai B'rith and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I know, but yeah. Okay. Well, happy New Year. Do you have matzah this week, Rob?
I'm gonna have some matzo brie. And I eat it with syrup, not with ketchup or whatever.
Okay. No, but watch that interview and just put it on if you're falling asleep or whatever. The one, it's good. It's good. The one with Paul and Kevin and Joe. Kevin and Joe are just so generous with, they're just great.
They're great guys.
I've met Kevin in person. Very nice.
Yes.
That's right.
You can follow him on Instagram. He doesn't really post much there, but he's on it now. So.
Yeah, I don't think he does. He's not very active, but he's there.
No. All right. Take care.
All right, man.
All right, gentlemen. Bye.
All right, guys.
Well, I guess this is the end. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
See y'all later.
All right.